Oh,
Hello.
Are we back?
Hello, Twitch chat. Why are you smelling?
Okay.
Oh, I hope they can't hear me. Oh no, they can hear.
Good job, Percentia. So
Hello,
we were just
Smelly.
introducing Kusogrande. So why don't you explain what Kusogrande is for the people again?
Hello,
Now that
Twitch
they can-
chat. You're smelling lovely today. I'm really glad that everybody could be here. Kusogrande is a bad video game tournament. For the Invitational, we've called 16 of the strongest players to duke it out. 4 people from different groups. We had the GDQ staff being represented, guess what, by Mikuyama today. We had people who have done exceptionally well in tournaments in the past. We've had the Kusogrande staff, and then we've also had Kusogrande game masters invited. Generally, game masters are the ones who choose games for other people to suffer through. So for today, the matches that we have here, I believe we have a couple from the losers bracket and one from the winners bracket. We're just trying to see how far the gamers can get through these games that they've never seen before and make as much progress as they can in an hour. The main twist that we have, by the way, is that these games are something that they never want to see again. Luckily, we also have Faizu popping in and commentating with us. Hello, Faizu.
Hello, Brosancha. How are you?
Pretty darn good. So I actually chose this game, Faizu, but you said you'd played it a little bit?
Yeah, you chose this game, but in
So,
true Kusogrande tradition, I'm going to get blamed for it somehow.
Oh, yeah. Everybody
so what's
just
the
blamed
game,
it.
Percentia?
It's
Before you talk too much about it.
Oh, yeah. It's Captain Novelin for the Super Nintendo. In fact, we are going to learn a lot about ways to manage your diabetes today, because that's what the game is about, managing diabetes.
And what better way to do that than a SNES platformer about superheroes?
Oh, yeah. You know what? This superhero seems a little bit weaker than other superheroes. Honestly, he dies a lot.
I mean, one of his biggest problems is making sure that he eats the correct foods for each meal of the day, which is quite a weakness for a superhero.
It's true. I don't want to spoil too much about the game because we're switching over pretty soon.
I have no idea why I have seen or played this game before, but I have.
You know what? Even though this has been in a GDQ, Mike has never played this. He vaguely remembers seeing a speedrun during one of the GDQs, but I don't think he was paying too much attention. So we need to help him get educational. Get educated. That one.
Helping him get educational would be good as well.
You have a
Well-
word sometimes, Percentia.
Yeah. So, chat, obviously food is extremely important. I want you all to start spamming all of your food emotes that you have as I do the countdown. Get ready, because we are going to be rolling. Uh-oh. Mikuyama was just messaging us saying that he moved his window. It still looks good, though, so I'm doing the countdown. Spam that food in chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The timer has started. The players will be jumping into the game relatively soon.
So you said that this game is about managing what food you eat.
Yeah, oh my
Is
gosh.
that like
chat.
managing your blood sugar kind of thing?
Yeah, you gotta manage your blood sugar. Don't eat too much unhealthy stuff. Have to select an amount of insulin at the beginning of the stage. There's also a lot of information about what to eat and what foods are going to be helpful for breakfast, because that's the first meal of the day, Railcoon.
It's the most important meal of the day, many people say.
Many
They're
people are wrong.
They're fools. No, eat good in the morning. Oh my gosh, what I like. It's not sponsored by Honey Bunches of Oats, real strawberries, but that is my favorite some coconut milk, a banana. Just put a banana in the cereal. We're good.
I saw
You're
both of
sure
them
you're
stopped and read the doctors talking to them instead of just skipping through it, which seems like a good idea for this game.
Yeah, we told them you might get it helpful information there, you might not. They'll just figure it out.
They might figure it out.
So
They might wind up. Well, you'll see.
yeah, what you're probably going to see for a little while is that the players may struggle figuring out how to get past some of these enemies. Now, the cruel thing about the platforming in this game is that you can jump on enemies, but you don't think you can. Because guess what? It has what I call Fantasia jumping, which essentially Fantasia is a game where you have to hold down in order to actually hurt the enemies. Who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. I guess Captain Novelin just...
Was this before or after Fantasia? Did Fantasia steal the mechanic from Captain Novelin, the infamous game?
So while you're considering the ramifications of that question, I would like to point out the demo does jump on enemies. So if they were watching the demo, which usually is a good idea, because they wind up sitting in the demo for a while and you can pick up some good hints.
Yep.
Then they should know you can jump on enemies, they just haven't figured out how yet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
which is probably going to result in a few deaths as they try to jump on enemies and take damage because they're not holding down.
I think Meekin is trying to figure it out while moving on to lunch. As it turns out, this game came out a year after Fantasia, so I'm not sure if they played Fantasia and were inspired, but somebody thought this was a good idea.
I mean, it's entirely possible that two entirely different companies thought at the same time that having to hold down to hurt things while you jump is a good idea.
It's such a terrible idea.
It's a really terrible idea.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of worked on DuckTales, but that's because you had a visual indication that your jump was different while holding down.
Yep.
And also you bounced.
Yeah, that was a pogo jump more than anything. That just wasn't a standard jump. You know, that was an entirely different movement.
Also, let's be honest, we could forgive a lot of things that might have been wrong with DuckTales just because of the moon theme is so good.
I want you to know Mikuyama just figured out how to kill enemies by jumping on them. That is going to be huge. Yeah, that's great. Meekins, I don't think has figured it out. One thing, though, that I want y'all to know, Meekin has done extremely well in tournaments before. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if he figures it out, or even just gets past a lot of these places without killing enemies.
Captain Novelin has been warned to wear shoes and socks on Meekin's
Does
screen.
that... Okay. I was going to say, does that help absorb, like, the milk that you just drank? Or... But
no,
yeah,
but
because
the
of
whole...
blood temperature, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you, Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is this an auto-scroller stage, or does it just resemble one because you're in a speedboat? It looks like Meekin can stop.
It resembles one. It's definitely not going to be your typical scroller. Oh. Watch out for the licorice.
Jump on enemies in the boat?
I think you can still jump on enemies in the boat.
Now, one important thing for this match is that obviously knowing more about the role of insulin is definitely going to help. Although I think that most people learn all of this information in the second grade.
Really?
I don't think I did.
So.
That seems very early. I guess if you're diabetic, you probably learn it that early, but for my experience, you learn about it, like, middle school.
Okay. I don't know,
I don't recall ever learning about diabetes in school, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Huh.
This may just be because I was paying more attention to really bad video games, but I don't think it was taught.
I mean, that's also possible, yeah.
One thing I find interesting about Captain Novelin is the fact that this is by far not the only diabetes-based game.
Oh, not at all.
We didn't really see diabetes-themed games before this. We didn't really see them much after this. But for whatever reason, around the SNES generation, there were quite a few diabetes video games.
How long is this game? Like, if you were to sit down and play this casually without trying to be racing it, how long do you think it would take someone?
I think probably a couple hours. Like, we've had this in Kusogrande before, and if I'm not mistaken, neither of the players finished during that match. So, however, Mike and Meekins are both pretty dang fantastic at games. The levels start getting hard, I think, about where Mike is right now, with the hopping cookies. This game is inspirational.
Yeah, I think where Mike is, you have to have figured out how to jump on enemies if you want to be able to do well.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of those patterns look really hard if you're not actually jumping on enemies.
Considering that you don't have too many lives, you know, getting a game over can be a fairly large setback, which it looks like Mike is doing okay, but Meekins had a game over.
I haven't seen Meekin actually jump on an enemy yet, but Mike's been doing it, so Mike has the advantage there so far.
Yep. I didn't tell them how to kill enemies. I told them the controls, and then the controls turned out to be wrong. It's complicated, okay?
It turned out to be wrong for one of them, though, because one of them said that B did work for them for jump.
Yeah.
I blame Captain Novelin.
You're only saying that because we were going to be blaming you.
I had nothing to do with any of this. I'm just here to ensure that Brossentia doesn't say anything too stupid.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
How possible of an endeavor is that?
Okay. So Mike is currently on the first. Mike is on the first day of the game, and there will be a second day. So don't worry. He'll go sleepy time, but he'll be back in the morning. And on the second day, it gets a little bit more bizarre. It appears that you make your way over to an alien spaceship eventually. I don't think I've seen this spaceship. That would be completely new for me.
Was that an ice cream cone throwing bits of himself at you?
Yeah, I could believe that.
Are aliens responsible for diabetes?
Yeah, 100% stupid aliens.
I'm kind of curious, actually. Is this a game about, battling diabetes? Because the enemies are things like soft drinks and cookies and so on. Or is this a game about a superhero who is diabetic and is trying to do regular superhero things while just trying to deal with diabetes? Because this seems weird, and I'm very invested in the lore here.
I think it's number 2.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there is any lore. The Mayor Gooden has been captured by quote-unquote sugar baddies, aliens from another world who are disguised as sugary foods, and taken to the top of Mount Way Up Thar. Mayor Gooden only has enough diabetic supplies to last for 2 days, so he desperately needs help. Help from none other than Captain Novelin. Unfortunately, the captain is also diabetic, so he must beware of contact with the sugar baddies, as well as making sure that his blood sugar stays in the safe zone. So
how many days are there? Like,
there are 2. There are 2
so
days.
Mike's halfway through the game?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's going to get game over fairly soon, though. Like, the difficulty is a little bit over the top. Especially on the second day. I mean, look, Mike's on his last life. Half of his face gone. The lives are Captain Novelin's faces at the top right.
That's slightly terrifying.
He's very tan. You know, maybe in addition to like managing his insulin, he needs to stay out of the sun a little bit, you know?
Meekin is asking why the demo can jump on enemies, but he can't.
Why do we need to check blood sugar levels? Because it's fun and looks cool.
I'm not sure if Mike, Mike has been staying pretty stable on his lives, because he's noticed that if you hit the little question mark for the quiz, and you get the answer right, it gives you a life. And then you gain a little bit of life for doing the little insulin minigame between the levels, correct? So, like, every level he's been going into with about 2 lives. Some of them he's been really close to dying in, but he's plotting through pretty well.
He's doing a lot better than I would have expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree. I remember this game being a lot rougher than Mike is making it look.
I don't like the sound of the flying licorice. That really worries me. By the way, Faizu, if I'm not mistaken, this is an elimination round, right?
Yes it is.
So the loser here will no longer be in the Invitational. The winner will move on and still have a chance of making it to the end. Mike's moving on to the afternoon snack.
This is a lower bracket match, so yes. Whoever manages their virtual diabetes best, will be moving on in the Invitational, and whoever doesn't will be metaphorically going home.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly literally going home if they're not playing this from home for some reason. I'm not quite sure why anyone would do that, but you never know. I'm not going to judge.
It's true. Maybe they're just down at the local library. Or no, they went to their local doctor. Okay, to learn more about this. Because the game says this is not doctor advice about how to manage diabetes.
Which is good, because from what a few people were saying, a lot of the information contained in this game was actually outdated by the time this game came out.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm baffled by the fact that this game exists.
So Mike is at the mountain.
Wow. I'm absolutely shocked.
Someone also mentioned that you could not buy this game normally, and you had to get it from a doctor, right?
I mean, that sounds fairly reasonable.
Someone did indeed mention that this was a thing that was it was an educational game that was given away at doctor surgeries and things like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but it certainly sounds plausible. I can go and look this up right now. I can get facts.
So did Mike only game over while trying to figure out how to jump on enemies and then just, like, blast through the game once he figured it out?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, this has actually answered a few of my questions.
Oh, what questions?
Well, I mentioned that there were several other diabetes-themed games around at the same time.
Well, I know of Packy and Marlin, which is about an elephant who has diabetes.
Packy and Marlin was from the same publisher.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
As was Rex Ronan Experimental Surgeon.
Oh, no.
And
I'm not the biggest fan of Rex.
And Bronchi the Bronchosaurus.
Oh, Mike.
Oh,
I think Mike has got one hit left.
Mike is extremely close to a game over here. Just living on the edge.
And Meekin has figured out how to jump on enemies now, so...
That is an advantage for Meekin, but the question is whether Mike...
Mike is game over! Back to the beginning, Mike.
so close to the end of the game as well, I believe.
And now that Meekin's figured out how to jump on enemies, both of these guys are really good at figuring out these games, and given how well Mike just blasted through most of the game there, Meekin will have some time to catch up now that he's figured out how this works, but one thing I've noticed is he hasn't been getting all the quiz questions right, and Mike has been doing better on the quiz questions, so...
So, for essentially, a quick question.
Yes.
There's a few things you may have talked about, but I may have possibly tuned you out. But how much of an impact do the bits at the start of the level take, where you're having to choose your insulin level and all the rest of that?
I don't know. As far as I can remember, it just automatically gives you the right amount of insulin.
Does it? Okay, then.
Okay, let me go ahead and try to see what it does.
From watching Mike do it, it seems like sometimes if you do it correctly, it just gives you a bonus to your health meter. Because there was one time where he did it and he gained about half a life afterwards.
I'm just wondering if it would do you harm if you get it way off or something like that.
Yeah, so what it looks like is that you get bonus points if your blood sugar is in the safe green zone at the end of the level. So as long as you ate the right food, then you get bonus points. And
okay.
I believe you may get extra lives based off of the number of points that you get. Mind you, in speedrunning points don't really matter too much. When it comes to a blind playthrough, anything to conserve lives and get extra lives can often be helpful.
Yes. If points are indeed the way that they are getting more and more lives, then getting these questions right is going to be fairly important. But on the other hand, while this isn't a speedrun, they kind of want to go as quickly as possible. I mean, one of the things is that they cannot, they don't know how the other person is doing. So both of them are probably assuming that the other person is much further ahead of them.
Which, at this point, Meekin is getting pretty close as well. This level definitely made Mike have some issues, and Meekin just took a hit right there. I'm a little bit concerned about this. I like the crappy Jeopardy music. It's not even close to Jeopardy. I heard it on Mike Uyama's scream just now.
Well, I haven't heard the music yet. I haven't been listening close enough.
Okay, I'm being told that the insulin minigame is more in depth if you enter a code at the start of the game. One of the password adjustments doctors could give you made you have to set the syringe manually and things like that.
Oh no.
Or more manually.
The thing is, Meekin had a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of this game, but now is kicking some booty.
Yeah, it seems like once they've figured out how to deal with enemies without taking damage, and they're both doing a pretty good job of, keeping their blood sugar at a reasonable level.
Yeah, Meekin is into the final stage, it looks like. However, is it going to trip him up or not? We'll have to see, because
he's got 2 hits.
2 hits and he's dead.
This is
wow.
tense.
This is a little cruel. 1 hit left.
Oh,
and there we go. Game.
Oh.
That's
so
right.
I think he tried to chain bounce on both of them, and it doesn't look like that works. Like, I think you have to land before you can bounce again.
So, with that, Meekins is definitely in the lead at the moment, but Mike Uyama knows what he's doing in this playthrough.
Definitely much more, yeah.
Yeah, and that might just be enough to let him get through and clinch the victory.
Honestly, I would say if either player can get to the final stage with all of their lives, or at least 2 lives, they'll be able to make progress, and like a significant amount of progress. It's anyone's game right now.
Sorry about that, I was very distracted for a moment.
You know, I think that one of the biggest problems that this game has to be how big your sprite is. It's giant, and it makes it really difficult to know exactly when you're going to take a hit from things. Also, the enemies are huge. Like, who made a cookie that big? Going for Guinness World Record here?
I'd quite like to meet them. Unless the cookie... I mean, who makes a cookie that has teeth and a mouth?
I mean, that's fair enough.
Yeah, the huge sprites are definitely one of the problems with this. I mean, you have so little screen space actually devoted to being able to see what's happening. You can't see what's ahead of you. You can barely see what's on screen. You don't have a great deal of time to react to things, and the sprites are... I mean, look at the enemy sprites on Meekin's side. They are taking up about 50% of the vertical space of the screen.
Oh yeah, they're
huge. Get to the heads-up display.
Frozen?
A bottle? No, do not freeze your insulin, okay? Let me just tell you all here. Don't you dare. I'm also not a doctor, and this is not actual advice. But you don't do it. Not advice. Okay. Mike is in a boat, which, if I'm not mistaken, helps exercise your torso a little bit. Like, look at how it rocks there, and he's keeping his head, like, not moving at all. And if you do that on a boat, it's a very slow core workout. A very slow one. I love that there's ice cream floating around in the water as well. Some kid is going to be very disappointed.
That is slightly terrifying. I like the fact that, yeah, Captain Novelin is strong enough to just launch this speedboat and himself out of the water at will. That's quite a superpower.
If you just pull up really hard on the steering wheel... You have to be a superhero to do it, but if you pull really, really hard, the wheel comes off. I'm not sure how he's jumping at all.
Interestingly, going back to something we said earlier, it does look like in the speedboat, at least you can kind of chain your jumps onto enemies and get rid of more than one of them without landing. I think that Meekin's death in the last stage might have just been down to... his height.
Oh yeah,
height when jumping on.
Now, just for visual, because it's a little bit hard to tell for people watching. Mike is on day 2. Oh, geez, a little bit of a hiccup there. I'm sorry.
You okay, bro?
Mike is day 2 lunch. Meekin is day 1 bedtime snack. Now, Mike just needs to make it to the spaceship. He's still behind technically because Meekin had already made it to the spaceship.
Yep, but Mike is in really, really good shape for getting there. Like, full health, all 3 lives at the moment on day 2 lunch.
Yeah. Oh, he had really bad blood sugar level, though. I'm concerned, Mike. You need to eat some broccoli, like stat. No, not the cheese. Oh no, Mike.
What's wrong with cheese as an afternoon snack?
Oh, he just had some carbs. It's bad if you have really bad blood sugar levels. Actually, I'm not sure if red is good or like too much or too little.
I mean, I have no idea.
Because as it turns out with this game, if your blood sugar is off, you have to do levels over again.
Oof.
Which, I know the previous time we had this, it confused people quite a bit.
I have a sudden recollection of this, and I remember that being sadistic.
Oh, yeah.
Just one of those things where if you've actually done it slightly wrong, then you get to restart and do the level again.
It's mostly if you're heading to bedtime and you have 3 ice cream cones, you know, you're gonna have not exactly the best night in the world.
Why?
Even if you're not diabetic, that would just sound awful.
Oh, geez, yeah, okay. Everybody, just don't. Don't have 3 ice cream cones before bedtime.
I'm gonna need reasons for this.
That's going to be a good way to get, like, a horrible stomach ache and keep waking up for awful reasons in the middle of the night.
Oh, geez, I don't think I would sleep.
You people are trying to change my sleeping patterns and my eating patterns right now, so I need a good, solid explanation for why I should eat 3 ice cream cones before bed.
No, why you shouldn't. Shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly, why I shouldn't.
Mike fell to his death. No. That's also bad for your blood sugar level. If you have less blood, you know, how are you gonna... I don't know.
Falling to your death does bad things to your blood sugar level on the basis that there is very little blood left inside you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Pfizer, did you know Utah, which is where I'm from, is the #1 consumer of ice cream here in the United States?
I actually didn't. Is there a bizarre reasoning for this?
Yeah, I don't know. Ice cream is strangely popular here, like even more so than anywhere else. You'll see people in the winter going and buying ice cream. The universities make their own ice cream. It's just how things go here.
I mean, both of those things I have kind of done in the past. I have definitely bought ice cream in winter. I quite like that. I like ice cream when it's raining. I don't know why.
You're like, oh, it's sad and gloomy. I better have a bowl of ice cream. Oh,
no, it's more like I'll go to the shop and I'll buy an ice cream cone and I'll walk in the rain eating ice cream. I'm very strange. But I remember one university I once visited making ice cream out of liquid nitrogen, which was, no pun intended, really cool.
That is, well, yeah, I've had that too. We have like 50 of those shops in every town, Faizu.
Okay.
An ice cream chemist here.
All right. Fancy ice cream in Utah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need to come here and have our fancy ice cream.
I didn't mean to impugn Utah's amazing prodigal ice cream.
I don't know. Hey, it looks like Mike is onto the spaceship.
With 3 lives, no less.
Yeah, it's a good number of lives. I'm just a little bit concerned because, you know, Meekin did die in here. It obviously is one of the more difficult sections in this. Broccoli. Is that ice cream or broccoli? I have a hard time telling.
I think that's meant to be broccoli, but Meekin is also at the spaceship. This is close.
Wow. We might, by the way, I don't think we've had a completion before, but we
Mike completed the one Korean game, if you remember. What was that one called?
I remember a lot of Korean games.
We've had a lot of Korean bootlegs. I most remember Korean.
It wasn't a bootleg. It was based on the TV show.
Like there was Dooley, but there's no way he completed Dooley.
That is quite a villain on Mike's screen at the moment.
He's throwing pies.
It is a slightly overweight man in his underwear firing pies.
And Mike killed him.
Was he done?
Oh no, find that it is... Oh no, he has to figure out... I think Mike may have gotten it right. Great choice.
Is that the game?
As a matter of fact, Mike has completed the game. You know what? Let's go ahead and keep watching Meekin, because Meekin could very well finish the game as well. Mike definitely takes the first place, though, with 30-19. Holy cow. I was not expecting 1 completion, and we might actually see 2.
Yeah, I think... Oh, hang on, did I just read the intro cutscene correctly on Mike's screen? Is the villain called Blubberman?
Let me see.
Is Mike trying to speedrun it now?
No, yeah, Mike, quite possibly.
It's like, yeah. Okay, let's see what Meekin is saying right here. And it looks like...
Rosentia?
Rosentia?
I'm sorry. I was typing. I was typing to Meekin to give him some verbal encouragement because he asked, or Mike was like, did I finish the game? And we're like, yeah. But Meekin is right on the last level. I want to see a double completion today. I would love to see that.
A double completion would be lovely to see. Is Captain Novelin's idle animation just flexing?
Yeah, that's my idle animation too. Just stand around in the grocery store. Look at my muscles. It's a lot harder for me though because I need to lose some weight.
I probably need to put on some weights, quite frankly.
Do it!
It's difficult. I can't. I eat 3 ice creams before bed and I can't.
Oh. Well, it looks like we've got some pretty good progress on Meekin's side. Honestly, you just gotta dodge the ice cream broccoli. I'm still not sure what it is. Oh yeah, Faizu, we can do a weight exchange. I'll give you my weight, and you give me your void, and that'll work.
I don't know if void is the right word. I mean, it's not an absence of space. It's not like there is a vacuum surrounding me where there should be one.
Oh no. You check Mayor Goodwin's blood sugar and it's 30.
That's a different solution. It was 50 for Mike.
It was. Let's see if Meekins chose correctly. I feel like... Nope.
No, I think he got it.
Oh yeah, he did. He got it correct. We have a double completion right there.
I feel like we need there should be some applause for this.
Oh yeah! Seriously, congratulations to both Mike and Meekin. Let's welcome them in if they want to come join general chat.
Let me give them the ability to do that.
Sweet. I'm super happy about it. When you take insulin, it's important to stick to your meal and exercise plans. There we go.
That is a message that we can all live by. To be honest, it's probably quite important to stick to your meal and exercise plans regardless of, whether you take insulin or not. It's healthy.
Oh, yeah. It looks like both Meekin and Mike are in the green room ready to be brought in. And there we go. Hello, Mike. Hello, Meekin.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, this is our first double completion of the Invitational. This was great.
Yeah, I feel like we vetoed so many games we kind of overflowed it into something not too bad.
Yeah, that was really too awful.
Meekin, you beat me by at least 100,000 points. I'm looking at the stream right now.
Dude, I stomped on like every enemy I could after figuring out that you actually could.
Oh, yeah, so I figured out how to step on enemies way before you did, and the only reason why I knew that is because you were complaining about how you couldn't jump on enemies.
Yeah.
Like the demo did.
Yeah, the demo kind of stood me up. I figured it out right after I said that, and then I immediately game overed and then did this playthrough to finish it up.
It's, you know what? We've had this in Kusogrande before, and nobody really made it past breakfast or lunch of the second day during that match. So you both demolished this.
Oh, I didn't think the game was that hard. I mean, it definitely wasn't very good, but I've played way, way worse.
That was definitely playable, especially once you can, figure out that you can stomp on enemies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, considering how mad the last game I gave Meekins, I think I think Meekins has played way worse quite recently.
The best part about this match is that Mike couldn't pick my game.
I love it. Wait,
for those of you not familiar with Kusogrande Invitational's channel, I picked Contra Legacy of War, which is one of the two really bad PlayStation 1 Contras.
It was really bad.
Oh, that was bad. Oh, I didn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, no one made it past stage 2 and for good reason. Oh no, wait, Glitchwitch did, but that was towards the very end.
So let's just go ahead and imagine you're a kid, and you know that you have to take insulin. The doctor gives you this game since you can't go down to Blockbuster and get it. How would you feel about going through this game? Childhood Meek and childhood Mike.
I probably would have liked it as a kid because I wasn't really that critical of games as a kid, and it just seemed like a kind of fun platformer for me. I don't know if I would have been able. I don't think I would have been able to beat it as fast as I did. I was actually about this match, I was kind of worried that I was behind because the game seemed pretty fast paced and not too difficult, except for the stupid cookies. But
yeah, agree.
Mike,
I don't understand the cookie rhythm. Like sometimes you can bait them, sometimes you can't. It seems like the real pro move is to do a jump and then immediately hold down, so you do this tiny jump that just bops them.
That's what happens to me in real life. I see cookies, I'm like, I don't know what to do, and then suddenly they're at me.
Yeah, and so that made me game over. Actually, pretty close to the end. I think I was on the second to last stage.
Yep, you were.
You both alternated back and forth with who was in the lead. I think Mike got furthest first and then game overed, and then Meekins got further and then game overed, and then Mike got further and it just kind of went like that. It was
those stupid cliffs in the second to last stage. They don't. The sprites are so misleading. You just fall. So that's why, the time I got through, I was jumping really far away from the edge to absolutely make sure I didn't fall off before jumping.
Oh yeah.
I wanna quickly say, Mike, you mentioned back then that you say you would have enjoyed this as a kid because you weren't critical of games then. I've seen the stuff you play now. I'm not sure you're critical of games now either.
Hey, I mean, I know what's bad. I just want to accept that it's bad. And that's rich coming from you, Faizu.
Yeah, I will accept that.
Sweet. I'm trying to think. So, Meekin, you're a child. Would you play this game? Would you be okay with this game?
Yeah, I guess I might have been a jerk about why would anyone need this game?
Okay.
I know it's for people who suffer from the thing, but I feel like I would have been completely oblivious that it was trying to teach me anything about that, despite the quiz.
Well, it was given by doctors, so at least it wasn't that.
You've been prescribed Captain Novelin, okay?
There is a problem though. A lot of little kids, especially when back in the day when I played games, they didn't really read cutscenes or anything. They just kind of mashed through that kind of stuff. So I don't know how much they learn if they were just kind of mashed through and try to play it your typical platformer action game.
I mean, I feel like if you had diabetes and you were given this, most of the information that is in there, you would probably or hopefully know regardless. This might reinforce what you already know, but hopefully that would be about it. And you wouldn't be relying on this to teach you.
Considering that the game had false information even when it was released, yeah, let's just say that maybe it wasn't the best idea.
I don't know if it was false information, but I don't know if you told the story, but Romscout, who's a type 1 diabetic, was actually prescribed this game, and he said that there was information that was already outdated when this game was released. Like,
Yeah.
That sounds about right
Outdated,
for this
not
game.
mine.
and it also doesn't help that like the quiz only gives you points, which is helpful for completing the game, for 1-ups, but it's like it's not really necessary or anything.
I was happy the extra lives overflowed past what was displayed. I figured that out.
Me
right
too.
at the end.
Oh yeah. Well, I'd like to thank both of you for playing. Meekin, you were here, if I'm not mistaken, representing people who have done strongly before the power team, but you're eliminated by.
I think we're actually both representing GDQ.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh wait, that's
was,
right. You are.
This is a civil war, actually.
Although Meekins
no.
has done well in past Kusogrande, so he would fit in that category too.
Yeah, serious. Well, I mean, you both have played. You both have been GMs. You're both staff for GDQ, so whatever. You're just
We're the whatever
everyone-
group.
Yeah, you're the whatever group. Thank you both so
Thanks
much.
for making
This
us
has
feel
been
special.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike, we'll have to, watch our blood sugar levels at GDQ in a couple weeks.
That is true.
Oh,
I will
no.
say this: I was prescribed as pre-diabetic once, and I don't think this game would have helped me at all.
I think it helped me. I can give you advice now, Mike.
Don't eat too much sugar. That's already what I do.
That's about all the advice. That and don't jump on your ice. Okay, just don't do it.
And hold down when you jump.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad, but I figured that out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really stupid, but I've played so many games like Fantasia and the like that have done that. Like, the moment I couldn't jump on something, I just immediately assumed it was down to jump.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the mini controls that we found out that didn't actually do that.
Now, just so everybody who's watching knows, we have 2 more matches coming up. I think we might have a little treat by Railcoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
are we doing it?
I'm okay doing it as long as I don't know if the people capturing the game are ready for it, but I'm ready.
Yeah, we're having some. Since they finished early, the next match isn't finished being set up yet. So they've given me a classic Kusogrande game that I need to suffer through while we get the next match ready.
We are lovely and good and generous people.
Oh yeah. Railcoon hasn't played in Kusogrande before, but what game did they give you?
Dragon's Lair.
For the Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I commentated
It's-
that match in the past. Well, you might not want to join after you play this.
I kind of agree. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, this game is suffering.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy game. We'll see. I know that everybody is scrambling, trying to get everything ready. Not a huge deal.
That's fine.
Yeah, welcome to Mike and Meekin are just too good.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah,
Actually,
why
I'm
are
not sorry at all. You know that.
I know that. You're never sorry, Mike Uyama.
Mike, never sorry, Uyama.
Yeah,
Well, considering some of the games I've given out, no. And whenever anyone says that I've given them the worst game that they've ever received, I wear that as a badge of honor. So, yeah, I'm really not that sorry.
Got mine. That's how I felt during Contra, so here you go.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
you.
Hey, it looks like Railcoon is racing himself. This is going to be good.
Oh, jeez.
Ah,
Should I go into isolation so you guys can trash talk me?
no. I want to talk to you about your
Oh,
experience.
you want to talk
here.
to me about this? Okay.
This is definitely a game. I've played this a fairly good amount before, and I feel like this is an incredibly difficult game. Let's see. As long as everything sounds right, let's go ahead and get you rolling in it. Railcoon, go.
Yeah, I just reset.
Brasensha, which Railgun do you think is going to do the best?
The left
in this
one.
bonus suffering.
Huge
Left one. Okay,
fan of left Railcoon.
I'm going for right
I need to turn
Railgun.
that down a little bit. Hang on.
All right.
It's very loud in my ears. Okay.
Don't you love the music, though? It's so good. I actually can't hear it, so I don't remember what the music is.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Okay, so this game is fun. Yeah, good job dying right there. Oh, no.
You walking into a gate, what were you thinking? That's just... You're asking to be turned into a skeleton.
Oh, this game is so good.
Oh, you can
I
jump
think,
higher.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, no. This is fantastic already.
About the NES version is that it runs at half the speed of both the PAL and the Japanese version, and I have no clue why.
Honestly, I think it kind of helps.
Sometimes PAL is the right choice.
Okay, so Railcoon is trying to figure out what to do, and the dragon just kind of bait you.
Okay,
I love
so
the
you
feeling.
can duck.
Like, everything instant kills you, but the bats do such small amounts of damage.
It's like the bats are almost insignificant. Pretty much everything insta-kills you except the bats. Here, Railcoon is just looking at this door, trying to figure out, why isn't it opening? I'm here. I want to go through the door. What are your thoughts, Railcoon?
I'm thinking I'm too slow and I probably need to beat the door, which is not a wonderful thought. I can't actually crouch right here, even though I could crouch in other places.
Yeah. By the way, you're wrong about that. About what you need to do, but it's a good thought. You're starting to do some brainstorming about how to get through this screen. The thing is, this game is much more of a puzzle game than an action game, is what I'd say. Yeah, oh my gosh, I think Railcoon might have taken a lead. Jeez.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bye.
Railcoon, PG rating. I like how it's right below an actual name that just happens to look way worse.
Nobody look.
Wow.
Nobody look at the high score table.
Cover
it's
your
too late.
eyes.
Nobody look at the high score table when Railcoon inevitably dies again.
Do you want me to be the bearer of bad news, Railcoon?
What's that?
You have to fight
No.
the dragon.
I'm kind of figuring that out, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Okay.
I think I have a solid idea.
I
Except
do agree
probably
with
not land
Broseccia
on the death pixel.
that this is more of a puzzle game than an action game.
Oh,
in a lot of respects. Because you just have to figure out all the insta deaths that are coming your way.
Duck here.
Yeah, there
Okay,
are very.
so I see.
There are very, very few things in this game that will inflict health damage on you. Most of them just instantly kill you.
Yep. You know, it's the quality of a good video game.
I did not duck fast
fireball
enough.
to the face.
Nobody look at the high scores. I trust you all miss the high scores.
Shame on you, Railcoon. What would Mike say about you?
Look, it's an arcade game. My instincts kick in when I see a high score entry on an arcade game.
Oh, and there he goes. This game is so incredibly difficult. Okay.
It is more than a little unpleasant.
Yeah.
Railcoon's got
You
the
gonna
right
come back
idea,
up?
though.
Oh, I'd forgotten that the game did this.
Yep.
The answer is
Forgotten that this game
good
was
luck.
quite this
Good
mean.
luck, Railcoon.
Yep. Good luck.
I love the
I'm
crawling
unhappy that
animation,
you're doing
though.
this
It's
to
so
me.
good.
I believe in you. I believe you.
Oh,
can
yeah,
make
I've got
the
faith.
Second screen. At least I believe right Railcoon can. I'm not sure about left Railcoon.
Left Railcoon is the best, though.
I'm thinking it probably has something to do with the G pickup, but I don't know what.
I'm not spoiling unless you want to know.
I can neither confirm nor deny anything.
He
that you
interrupted
are.
my jump animation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duck. Okay.
Okay, good, good. You're doing
Yeah.
pretty good.
You're figuring this out.
Yeah.
Oh
not doing
no!
bad.
Really? Stand up! So he comes up. Oh, that doesn't
Yes.
work. I'm sad.
But you're really starting to figure it out.
Okay.
Oh, the fireball singed your eyebrows there.
Ow.
Okay, I get it.
Such a good video game. The thing is, what ends up with the most deaths in this game, and I would say is the game's biggest flaw, is that once you start moving in a specific way, it's incredibly difficult to actually readjust.
I was really curious for a moment there if you were going to completely forget about the falling block in the middle of the bridge and after killing the dragon. I wasn't going to say anything just in case.
Apparently, there's a ceiling here, and you can't jump.
Nope. Enjoy, Railcoon. Like I said, this game is a puzzle game. You just need to figure out the different elements and how they all fit together.
This game is a puzzle game. You need to figure out why it was made.
And why the snake comes
jeez.
out of the wall. I don't know why there are wall snakes.
This is one of these games where it's just gonna be you die to a thing and then you know it's there, isn't it?
I love that there are people in chat who said they have never seen that far.
That honestly doesn't surprise me. I think
Neither.
if
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
have seen,
Honestly, the time I played this game, I think I only made it to the second screen.
Yeah,
if people
we
have
had
seen Dragon's Lair NES, I'd say there's like a 60% shot that they've never seen past the first screen.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we have in matches before, I think, had people make it to the third screen.
Yeah,
But
the one
that's
that I
Good lord.
saw, the one I saw in one of the earlier tournaments, they made it past. I think there was like a mini boss at the end of the second area,
Yes,
and they both beat it. But I think that was a 2-hour match.
I think it was, yeah.
So, which one of you wonderful people is picking this up for speedrunning purposes?
I actually would really like to play through this whole game. It's got a charm to it that maybe I shouldn't say it has charm.
I mean, you didn't say it has charm in a good way? Is there a
No.
way to have charm in a bad way?
I mean, the animations in this game are beautiful. For the NES, like this walk cycle, you're supposed to be a dorky knight. This is just beautiful for the NES, I'd say. However, it's just dreadfully difficult considering that you can duck and smash your
What?
face into a spike.
It faked me out.
Fake out! Oh, I love
It
it.
started to go up and then it came back down.
I'm
That's
curious.
amazing. I can't even be mad at that. That's just amazing.
I'm
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to think that a speedrun of this game, do you think it would actually make the game look easy? Or, you know,
Maybe.
vaguely playable?
It might. It would also be really slow. Look at how slow you walk. Just play the PAL
No,
version.
no, beat him, beat him. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, you got past. Good.
Oh no, we got endless bats.
The bats luckily
the
don't hurt
rocks.
you too much. Oh my gosh, no! It hit your foot. Oh.
Oh,
I think this might be your last life. Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
Well, let's see how you do. So everybody watching, just remember the spikes are insta-death, and I don't know how you avoided death there. Like,
Very carefully.
it grazed your nose.
The nose isn't an important part of the body, it's fine.
What was that?
A king who steals all your gold.
Oh, I don't care about gold. That's fine.
I don't even know what the gold does.
I'm
But yeah.
pretty sure it's nothing. He takes your gold and you can get it back if you go to some bonus stage maybe. But other than that, it's
I can't jump
nothing.
forward because I'm against this wall.
You're gonna have
apparently.
to back up, yeah.
Maybe the gold is required for the good ending. Maybe it's
Beat
one
him,
of those
beat him, beat him,
games.
beat him! Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Wait,
Pretty close. I think the snake killed you.
was it a snake or did the bat get me from behind?
I'm pretty sure it was the snake. I don't know. Could have been.
All right.
No, you had a lot of life. Well, Railkun, I've got good news for you. The
Oh my
next
God.
match is actually set up, so if you want, you can give up and say it's a tie between both of your personalities, and you know.
Clearly, Railkun tied Railkun.
I think that the Railkun on the right got a few frames further, but we're going to need to have Kate check the VOD to make sure, count the pixels.
Okay. Well, we'll get back to you on that one, but since the next match is ready, we're going to head to a break real quick. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with us. Next match is going to be Nad Den Bao versus Smite, and we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, everyone, welcome back to Kusogrande Invitational. We're back with match number 2 of Week 7. We just had Mikan versus Mike Uyama, and Mike won in a double completion, which... shocking in any Kusogrande, but here on the Invitational, we've been picking some pretty bad games, so it's very interesting to see a double completion happen. And then, of course, they subjected me to an amazing game, I should call it. I should label it properly. But now we've got Nad Den Bao versus Smite coming up. Before we get into that, I just would like to say that make sure you tune in Sunday for Tree Fort. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. And that prizes, submissions for SGQ are open. If you go to our website, gamesdonequick.com, you can go check that out. And Frame Fatale submissions are open until the 15th. But, Tristan, well, you're here with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, I think.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. We had 2 people complete the last game, and so I'm glad that you managed to show up and give a game where there's no hope at all.
Oh yeah, the racers are not finishing this.
Yeah, simply put, it's a Batman game. Which Batman?
This is Batman Returns for the Atari Lynx.
Yeah, and the Atari Lynx isn't exactly known for having high quality games. I can't think of a single
GDQ
Lynx
recently.
game. I mean, Gordo 106. Yeah, we had that at GDQ, which I would argue is probably the most enjoyable one. This is not fun at all. We've had this in a previous match. It is not a good game. So just so everybody knows, by the way, Kusogrande is a bad video game tournament. For the Invitational, we've had 16 people who are strong gamers, especially in the speedrunning and Kusoge community, come together and duke it out, trying to make as much progress in a game they've never seen over the course of an hour. The biggest twist, though, is that we only focus on bad or strange games. So the difficulty about this upcoming game, especially, is that you have one life. You have no continues. It's
And then once you get into level 2, there's the appearance of instant death pits in a game with one life and no continue.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting the green light from everyone, so why don't you get this started and you guys can continue explaining the wonderfulness of this game once we've started.
Sweet. I'm doing the countdown in just a second, so get all of your bats, all of your mans, all of your returns, I don't know. Get all of your emotes. Spam them in chat as I do the countdown. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And there we go. Smite is off. Nad Den Bao stream is just a little bit behind. So we'll just keep that factored in so that we know that it was about 10 or 11 seconds behind. Okay. So go ahead and talk to me about this game.
So right off the bat, we see Smite is actually engaging in the game, and that is a mistake. What he should be doing is holding right and ignoring everything. Pretty much everything you encounter in this game exists only to waste your health or your time, mostly your health. The fastest way through this first level is just kind of to go right and ignore everything.
Okay. Yeah, Nad Den Bao is actually trying to fight pretty much every enemy that shows up. Honestly, for the first playthrough, I would probably recommend doing that, just learning some of the basic mechanics and how things work. But eventually, they won't be fighting anything.
Right. You can go through about 2/3 of this first stage without throwing a single punch if you're careful about how you move. And that's probably the smart thing to do.
At this point, I've learned essentially collecting the bats, that's going to be your health. That's probably the most important thing right now. Collect the bat symbols.
Yes, the bats are health. Specifically, I believe the white and yellow ones are. The blue bats are just score.
Really?
If I recall correctly. It's been a little while. I was not expecting to give this game out, but this duo vetoed 12 of my games. Oh, by the way, instant death explosion.
Yeah. Oh, and Smite is starting over. I'm relatively sure I just saw a sign that says Shreks. Let's see if it shows up on Nod Then Bow.
It was at the CK, though.
Well, it still counts.
So the explosion that took out Smite there, you can't get past that building in time before that building explodes. What you're supposed to do is duck behind the mailbox, and the first major indicator of progress is going to be who figures out how to do that.
I love it. Yeah.
I had given this game out in a prior tournament, and I actually told the racers how to duck behind the mailbox and survive that. For these two, I think they can figure it out.
Yeah, they're strong players. Nod Then Bow is here representing our GMs, and he's played in plenty of Kusograndes before and has always done pretty dang well. Smite is a well-rounded video game player. He holds his own tournament as well as Arcade Pit. He's also done very well in Kusogrande before. I honestly, I have no idea who's going to take the victory here, but it could be either of them.
It could very well be. The last time I saw a race of this game, a couple of the racers got to the middle of stage 2. Whoop, there goes the building again. He did survive. It takes about 80% of your health, so you can survive it.
Yeah, and then he got immediately surrounded by a bunch of thugs and somehow made it through that. I thought with that little health, he was definitely going to get killed.
The duck attacks are definitely helping with that. Unfortunately, Dynamite sort of did him in right there.
Yeah, if you like explosions, this is the game for you.
Oh, yeah. As is being said in chat, by the way, it's kind of true that the GMs, or the game masters who choose games, generally start off a little bit lighter with games that are more enjoyable. But if they've played them, the games just get worse and worse with every draw. And considering you said 12 vetoes?
I think we reached 12. It got to the point where I was giving 2 and 3 games at once and just going, tell me which of these you played. There was one particular instance where I gave 2 completely unrelated games, and then Nod Then Bow said they played one and Smite said they played the other. And at that point, I just gave up. I died inside. And now we have Batman Returns.
Yay!
Yeah, upon watching some of the game handouts go on, some of the GMs refer to their, basically their trump cards as their nukes. It's like, you don't want this game to come up, but I've got something if you guys keep vetoing everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It sounds like you got beyond your first couple of trump cards on this one.
If this got vetoed, the Final Argument of Kings, in my case, is an MSX game I have that's so bad there's no physical evidence that anyone has actually played it.
Wait, what?
I don't want to give too much away, because in the event that I don't use this on someone, I want to talk to you about using it in the finale.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, yeah. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
That is some worrying yet exciting hype for that game.
I do see chat asking if Atari Food Fight has come up for the links.
Kung Food, yeah.
Kung
that
Food
was
is
my
so
fault.
bad.
Kusogrande 3.
I hate it. I hate Food Fight.
Kung Food, you mean?
Oh yeah, Kung Food. What am I even talking about? Why am I saying food fight?
Because it's a better name than Kung Food.
Oh yeah, Kung Food is.
But that would be FU''D fight, like food. You got food?
If
I don't know
only.
how to spell that.
That would have been more clever, but no, they just spelled it FOOD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is there any good game on the links?
Yeah, Gordo.
Okay, besides Gordo, is there any
Well,
good?
I had to help
game
them
on-
set that up at GDQ, and it was an interesting tech shenanigans to have the links actually streaming.
Oh yeah.
How do you deal with the bite guys? You ignore them and pray.
Yeah, just keep jumping. That sounds about right.
You can see here that Smite has largely given up already and is applying the hold right strats until completely surrounded, which is pretty much what you need to do.
Nod Bao is doing that as well. I think both of them have figured that out, but ducking behind the mailbox? That's another question. Will Smite do it? Oh, almost!
He's getting the idea. I think he knows what he needs to do. It's just, it's a matter of waiting for the warning, and then you just kind of calmly walk over and duck behind the mailbox. But you don't have a lot of time to do it.
Apparently the Lynx had some decent arcade ports, but I haven't seen any of them. I'll doubt it for now.
Their very apocryphal Gauntlet game is not bad.
Okay. There you go. Gauntlet for the Atari Lynx.
My favorite thing about this run right strat that they're both employing is, if you notice, sometimes the projectiles that hit them in their cape just don't hurt, and sometimes they do, and it seems like Batman's just got a great hitbox.
I don't understand his hitbox, like, at all. But I'm glad that, like, realistically, whenever he gets hit from any direction, he just plummets straight down.
I mean, if I got hit by an M80 and had it go off, I would plummet straight down too.
I'm thinking at this point, honestly, nobody is really in the lead, but somebody will start getting some significant progress in a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, they're both tied at dying shortly after the exploding building.
Am I mistaken, or did the music stop working on Smite's side?
He may have hit the button to turn the music off.
There's a button to turn the music off?
So the music was already very quiet, but yeah, it seems like it's off on Smite.
Well,
Well, that's cool.
yeah, one of the option buttons toggles the music.
Oh, geez, the dynamite. This
Wow,
is
he's
cool.
getting comboed.
Oh,
No.
The bad thing is that while you're prone on the ground, dynamite can still hit you. You know. Yep, Smite no longer has music. He's gonna fully reset. I think he wants those jams.
The jams are important.
Oh yeah, gotta get in the mood.
Are we talking jams or Jimmy Jams?
Oh my gosh. I
Also,
like
let's
Jimmy
talk
Jam.
about Batman's walk animation a little bit here. It strikes me as like a businessman on the way to a really important meeting.
I want to run, but I can't be seen running, so I'm gonna do like the kind of power walk, like running a little bit behind walk from this man. Is that what you're going for?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of that, or the like bathroom seeking power jog.
Yeah. It's definitely the I want to run, but I'm not going to power walk at the very least.
By the way, I do want to say Atari published pretty much all the games for the Lynx, but they also developed this one. So this
It
is
shows.
is that good or bad?
Yes, it's very Atari. And by that I mean if you're anywhere near this, you're in danger.
I do want to say that the music and sound were actually made by one of the writers for Diablo 2, Robert Vieira.
Smite is trying to jump over the explosion, and that's not gonna work.
Oh,
Is that like Hollywood logic? Maybe he'll get like sent way into the air by the explosion if he jumps.
I mean,
It's a
maybe.
Batman game. Maybe it would like send you to a secret level. He tried something new. I like it. He keeps getting comboed trying to get this health pickup. He's gonna lose more health than he would have
There we
gained.
go.
If you're in a race, a blind race, and what you're doing isn't working, you just need to try something new.
Yeah. I'm definitely
And
a fan of the people
here's
trying
the combo
different things.
video again.
There's so much dynamite, so many explosives and machine guns. How are you supposed to dodge it all?
Yeah, so Smite has reached the final stretch of the first level, which is the what the heck are those music boxes called? I don't even remember, but
Oh my god.
yeah, these guys just machine
don't
gun you and you
know.
get no iframes from it.
This is not okay.
I know what you're talking about. Those are like the music boxes where they crank it and like make a monkey dance to the music kind of thing. I just don't remember what the name is. Organ grinders, chat is saying. Right, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
kind of.
that's what they are, yeah.
Except it's Batman, so they shoot bullets because reasons.
Tristan, I have a question. Do you remember that weird Roadrunner game for the Nintendo?
Yeah.
The one where you run left instead of right?
Yep.
That one, the person who did the animation for this game actually did the animation for that game as well. Which isn't saying much because it looks like a bootleg and it plays like a bootleg, but still, they worked on that and I'm in love.
Oh my god, did you see
Thank
that
you.
combo on Nod screen?
No, I didn't. I was reading about Roadrunner, I'm sorry. Okay.
It looks like Nod Then Bow is just taking a moment to try to figure out if they're missing something, which is a strategy I can get behind.
Oh, yeah.
The gangster on Nod's screen kind of like grabbed him and punched him a few times, knocked him down, and he stood up and immediately got grabbed and punched several times again. He lost a large amount of health to a Street Fighter combo from the enemy on Nod's screen. It was pretty vicious.
Oh, geez. Like, everything in this game is just cruel. Don't deal with the enemies, just try to get away from the enemies. If you can manage to get them to go past you, then fantastic. Taking one hit, not a huge deal, but as soon as you're on the ground and more shots are fired, you are in trouble.
I would say this is just a bad beat 'em up, but it's more like just a beat down game, as in you get beat down.
Yeah.
So it's a beat 'em up game where you're not the one doing the beat 'em up?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're actually beating the enemies up, you're kind of just wasting your resources.
Ooh, Smite still hasn't figured out the mailbox.
Yeah, I mean,
There was
it's
one time
not-
where Smite like got partially behind the mailbox, but I don't think enough to block the explosion, so he might be thinking that's not the key. Like,
It's entirely
sometimes when
possible.
somebody comes close like that, they think that that's not the answer, you know?
See, this isn't even the cruel part of the game, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I can... Oh my gosh. So, one of the people who helped with the art on this actually wrote and programmed the video game Toki.
Good.
Yeah, which is the really slow-moving monkey platformer.
Which version is it? Is it the Sega version?
As far as I can tell, let me...
Because that's the amazing one, is the Sega version. There's other versions that aren't quite as awful.
Let me go ahead and look into the credits for the individual one. Let's see, because the Genesis one, no, he didn't do the Genesis one. He probably did the Lynx port.
So, Smite has reached the duck.
The duck!
It's the penguin riding a duck.
Yeah.
Why is it a duck?
I don't know.
Doesn't
the
he ride a
penguin.
duck in one of the movies?
So, the strategy here is to just do a lot of damage to the duck, and it will eventually blow up. But Smite's health is pretty low.
The problem is
Yeah.
it doesn't visibly look like he's doing damage, so I'm not sure if he thinks he's missing it.
No, I think he's pretty onto it.
There you go. I sent you a reference.
Oh my god,
Image
he
there.
does ride a duck.
He does
Why?
ride a duck. Railcoon, you need
I'm
to
just gonna link that
brush
in
up on
chat.
your Batman lore.
There you go. I have referred that to chat for their own amusement.
Good.
So Smite was at least able to get some solid damage on the duck, but eventually did just go down.
I'm not too surprised. You can't dodge all the projectiles. You have to get there with a reasonable amount of health.
Yeah, and the best way to get there with a reasonable amount of health is to figure out how to survive the exploding building.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed on Smite's end is that after the explosion, it looks like he's doing his best to avoid damage, because there's like 3 health pickups right after the explosion. So he might just think that even if there is a way to avoid it, whatever, just get to the explosion close to full health and then get as many health pickups afterwards as you can, which might be a reasonable plan.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Here's the deal. Looking at this game, thinking it's on an Atari screen, I can see it visually being okay. You know, there's nothing visually too offensive about this. But the gameplay and the absolute lack of extra lives or continues is kind of unforgiving.
Very much so.
I feel like there's no way that could be justified, you know?
Yeah, for the Lynx, these graphics are actually really good.
Oh yeah,
Like, I have to give it to them. This looks really good for a Lynx game.
the Lynx actually had a lot of games that visually were great looking. I mean, Gordo 106 had parallax. It's just that the gameplay is bad. And it's so bad. It didn't... I don't know.
It's kind of sad that your exemplar for gameplay for a system is Gordo 106, but, you know.
It's literally the most enjoyable thing I've ever played on a Lynx.
How many games have you played on a Lynx?
Good 4, 5, 6?
Okay, so Smite is back to the penguin and his duck friend.
However, Smite also is throwing vials at the penguin. I don't
That
recall
can
if the vials
work,
do a lot of
but,
damage.
It seemed more like the vials are AoE more than doing a lot of damage. Because when he was using them earlier in the level, they were taking out multiple enemies at a time.
The unfortunate thing is that it seems a little bit hard to know when you're landing hits, especially since the duck keeps going off screen. You gotta hit the duck in the face, just punch it in the face! Or
Yeah,
Well, the duck
only the
cringes
head.
when you hit it.
It's only cringing when he hits it in the head, not the body as well, so the way it's moving around makes it look like it's pretty hard to hit reliably as well.
There we go! The duck is down!
Alright, how long do you think Smite will survive in level 2?
I'm giving...
23 seconds.
Nah, it has to be like 10 seconds here. Wow, he's actually past 10 seconds. Never mind. You might be right, Railcoon.
I'm imagining he's gonna get knocked into a pit. Like, he's gonna jump, get hit, and then fall right into the pit.
It's
The shotgun to the face!
possible.
Oh no!
Nod then Bow is on the duck.
Not
He's
that
past
Bao
23 at this point now, too.
is doing pretty good. It's just that he's also taking a lot of damage, but he's landing hits. So that's great.
Yeah, this is a different strategy than what Smite did. Smite stood on the platform to the left and threw batarangs, but Nod then Bow is just going in, duck punching.
He's out of batarangs right now. If you look at the
Out of
top left,
life
it shows
as well.
the... like your ammo, and he didn't have any batarangs left. Smite's doing pretty well here, actually.
Yeah, not very bad. So if you get hit by a projectile, you fall straight down. In addition to that, if you fall down one of the pits between the buildings, that's it. Game over. You know, no second chances. So this is a very dangerous level.
Doesn't also seem to be a lot of health pickups in this level, and he's just taking chip damage pretty consistently, so... seems like it could be pretty rough just to get through with enough health.
Yeah. He's doing relatively well, though. Oh, these shotguns are just so terrible. Oh, yeah, you want to go to eat? It's a good restaurant. Smite is actually getting fairly close to the end of this, though.
I'm surprised.
Oh, this is shocking.
How many levels are there?
There are 4. That's it. That's all you need.
So maybe that's why it had no extra lives and no continues.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of content.
The groin punches are really working well here. Like, just duck and punch them in the groin until they die.
It's a valid strategy. I mean, if you're in a fight, Honor has already left the building. Just do what you gotta do.
They've got a shotgun, might as well punch him in the groin.
I thought he fell down the pit there for a second. He landed so close to the pit when he got hit.
Considering that you plummet straight down, yeah, that was definitely a possibility there. Okay.
It doesn't help that the cops can only really shoot at chest height, so you just crouch and wait for them to do something. It's like, my secret weapon is crouching. Not only can you not shoot me, but if you come close, I'm gonna punch you in the groin.
I love it.
Just
like how Batman always worked, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Batman wasn't afraid of fighting dirty. He'll punch you in the groin if he needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like Batman. Oswald Cobblepot for mayor. So the Penguin is running for mayor. Does that mean he became mayor and that's why all the police are fighting us? Is that the story here?
The police are getting smarter, though. Some of them are ducking. That's about it. I'm pretty sure he ran for mayor on a few occasions, you know?
I will admit to not being fully up to speed on my Batman lore. It's been a while. Batman was never really my style.
The cops just jumped into the pit.
Well, I mean, the entrance to the donut shop is at street level. What are you going to do?
You can go in through the roof. Like, look, it has glass up there. Should be doable. I love some of these sound effects because they really remind me of old school Atari sounds, and it just makes me happy. I love Atari. But with that said, with these, this detailed level of sprites, it's a little unusual to hear Atari sounds with it.
So, Smite has reached the boss of level 2.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Batgirl?
I
think it is
supposed to be Catwoman. I don't know.
Maybe she just got extra large shoulder pads. I don't.
Hey, pauldrons are important, okay? I'm shocked that Smite finished level 2. So that has put Smite ahead of anyone I've ever seen play this game before. And so his reward is going to the sewer, where there are penguins.
Why is there always a sewer level in video games? There don't need to be sewers, okay? We've got enough crap. We don't have to deal with sewers.
This game is crap. It deserves a sewer.
I suppose so.
Oh, by the way, monkeys and organ grinders in the sewer.
Yeah, I'm just confused because her hair was red, and Catwoman has blonde hair, but Batwoman has red hair. So, if it was supposed to be Catwoman, they just messed up the hair color, and it made it look like it was Batgirl.
Meanwhile, Nodden Bao is taking another swipe at Penguin and the Duck. Oh, that didn't end so well.
Okay, let me go ahead and look this up. People are saying that this is part of literally the movie plot. I never saw Batman Returns. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm going to do some research for y'all about who he fights.
I mean, I believe them. They're saying it's a Catwoman.
As it turns out, Shrek is also in the movie.
What, really?
There is a character named Shrek. Yeah. His name is Max Shrek.
I'm pretty sure that's a different Shrek than what you're thinking about.
Oh my gosh. No. He's a millionaire. He planned to build a power plant to supply Gotham City with energy. Yeah.
So level 3 is not really... This should probably have been level 1, to be perfectly honest.
Wait,
Yeah,
this is
seems like
easier
it.
than level 1?
Yeah. Aside from, the multi-rocket launcher penguins.
They're so cute. Oh my gosh, I want one. Tristan, you need to get me a penguin. One of these.
I mean, there's like zoos where you can go pay money to feed the penguins.
No, I
So
want to
would
be
that be
like
good enough?
Mr. Popper. Okay, Mr. Popper had his penguins in a refrigerator room, and they
Yeah.
would sled around the house and do penguin things, and it was adorable. Okay, I want that.
Yeah, I
So-
remember that book.
The boss of stage 3 is a metric butt ton of penguins.
Oh, okay.
All shooting fireworks at you, apparently.
Yep.
There's so many penguins. Oh my gosh.
The one on the right side is actually out of reach of his fists.
Oh, and Smite is
Smite
through
is-
the penguin barrage.
Yeah.
Okay, so we said there's no hope of anybody beating this game. What are your thoughts now?
Well, Smite has another level to get through. I'm not giving up yet, but it's looking possible.
Oh my gosh.
Nope, there we go.
Oh, that is the death pit.
Oh wait, and you only have one life, so
Yes, that's the game over.
Oh.
You got hit in midair over the pit and just right down the pit.
Oh,
It didn't even look like that should be a pit. It was just water.
What a video game. This is why we have Kusogrande, because I feel like anybody playing this, if that ever happened, the cart would be gone. The game would be gone forever. But here, it doesn't matter. They have to keep going because we demand it. And, if somebody rage quit during an invitational, ooh, I'd wag my finger at them so hard.
I would
So,
want to be on the
I can
receiving end
admit-
of
I don't
a
have...
trigger wag.
I don't really have any interaction with Smite. I've never GM'd a match they've been in or anything like that. So I don't really have a fix on how they respond to garbage, but I at least got a reaction out of them.
Smite has played a lot of trash. He's played a lot of terrible video games, and I think that he secretly likes most of them.
I mean, that's valid. That was how I was the first year I was in Kusogrande, and I eventually had my optimism beaten out of me. I can pinpoint the moment it happened, too. It was the moment that Mike Uyama made me play 2 hours of Genesis Toki on the hardest difficulty level.
Oh, speaking of Toki, yeah.
Oh, I've speedrun that game, actually.
You know what? Mike and I had talked about that for months, Tristan. For literal months before that match. So I'm glad that you were the one who was able to suffer through it.
It was
Mike is
Cadus,
actually
too.
blaming
Cadus
you
was
for
my
that.
opponent, so,
Oh yeah, the thing is, we make our own suffer more than anybody else. Usually.
I remember the GDQ where Mike introduced that game to everyone, and the entire week of that GDQ, there were 2 TVs that constantly had somebody playing that game because everybody was fascinated by how bad it was.
Like, the thing is, that game, just like some of the games we've seen, is honestly more of a puzzle platformer when it's on the hardest difficulty. It's like, you just have to figure out what the game is trying to make you do, and then do that. It's fascinating in its own right.
I can't
Yeah.
believe it's only been 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It's also one of the interesting things is that, like, it's only interesting and, like, fascinating when it's on the hard difficulty. The easier difficulties are just bad. There's no redeeming qualities.
I don't know. It actually goes pretty fast on the easier difficulties because they're upgrades. They're weapon upgrades. There are like speed shoes, Railcoon. You can go
see
fast.
Speed shoe in, the hardest difficulty in World 8, I want to say.
You see one pair of shoes in the whole game in hardest difficulty.
Well, you're a monkey. Why do you need shoes?
To go fast!
He's not a monkey, he's an ape. Hello?
Yeah.
Very important distinction.
But yeah, Genesis Toki is something beautiful. Honestly, I would say that hardest difficulty is fascinating for a blind playthrough and surprisingly boring when it's played well. Like, somehow the speedrun manages to make it really boring.
That's why I like the warp category. It's about 7 minutes long. You get about enough of the terribleness before it overstays its welcome.
Oh,
And
nice. I didn't
warp
know there
glitch is
was one.
actually, pretty
So-
hilarious.
Smite is trying to move really fast through level 2, and this is a risky strategy. Granted, he got to the middle of the final stage, so this is all not progress, right? He wants to get back to where he was quickly, but all it takes is one badly placed cop with a shotgun, and you're going down.
Yep.
Yeah, he played it really safe last time, if you remember. He was ducking, he was taking out pretty much every cop before he tried to make any of these jumps. Because he didn't want to risk falling in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if he does take at least one unintentional death on this level.
It makes sense, though, given that like he's already gotten to the final level. That's the point
There
where you
he
see a lot of
goes.
times. Oh. That's where you see the players kind of try and take a few more risks. Like, okay, can I get there faster this time? And that might just teach him, no, we just got to be slow on that level.
I was just really excited for Shotgun, dude. He's like, oh, I can stop Batman. He got a promotion that day, okay? Nobody else could stop Batman, but Shotgun dude's like, yeah, just let me handle him.
I will say that I'm satisfied that we got to see the metric butt ton of penguins.
Oh my gosh, they were so cute. As some people in chat are realizing, yes, this game has one life and no continues. I do want you all to know, by the way, that we judge who is in the lead based off of who has made the most progress at any given point during the match. Smite has made it to level 4, so even though he's on level 1, he has still set that high mark. Naldenbao has a lot of work, and simply put, in the previous match, nobody got past level 2, so like, if for one person to get to level 4 blows my mind, it'll be shocking if Naldenbao also makes it that far. But then again, 2 of our previous players beat Captain Novoin, which was surprising.
I tried really hard to follow up with one of the other games you were talking about during that race that's in the same edutainment vein, but it could not happen, unfortunately.
Ah, dang it.
That's kind of been the theme of the Invitational, though. We've had a lot of games that have been returned from a previous Invitational where players got really stuck and they didn't get very far, and in the Invitational, people have gotten really far, come close to completing them on a few instances. So I think it's just because the quality of players in this Invitational is so good, and they've all just had so much practice playing bad games at this point. They're getting like farther in these awful games.
Yeah, and honestly, I think, you know, some people are going to say, you should play Brosencha. I'm like, no, we need actual good players. You know, don't make me play these games. Have somebody else. And, you know, we've ended up with a really strong group of players. And Kusogrande is all about me laughing at them. That's how it all started anyway. Yeah.
There's one thing I wanted to add, though. The description chat has forged of this game is one life, no continues, and instant death pits. I also want to add in that you keep your health between stages.
Yeah. I noticed that earlier when he hit the final level, he had like a third of his health bar, and I was like, oh, that didn't reset. That's unfortunate. It also makes the final boss on the first level here interesting, because there's a health pickup while you're fighting Penguin on a duck. And the way Smite's been fighting him, he usually doesn't get the health pickup. And when you beat him, you don't get a moment to pick up the health pickup after he's dead. The level just sort of ends. It makes me curious if Smite's going to try and finish him close up next time so we can get that health pickup right when he finishes him, you know?
Oh, yeah. This game is just a national treasure. Oh my gosh.
So neither racer has figured out the mailbox yet either. So they're getting through this level, getting 80% of their health blown off by a mechanic you can avoid, and I'm starting to feel a little guilty that I didn't give them a hint about that.
Whatever, Smite made it to level 4. Who cares? Make them
You
suffer.
are correct, actually. You know what? Heck them. It's fine.
If they can get through taking all of that damage and still survive, then kudos to them. They deserve to make it, to the second or third or fourth stage. Nathan Bao honestly could have a serious life benefit if he could manage to figure it out and Smite doesn't. But, if they don't figure it out, whatever.
Honestly, I think either racer could have a serious life benefit if they figure out how to shut this game off and walk away, but that's not why we're here.
So, Brosench, we're about halfway through this match, a little bit further than that. Why don't you remind people who may have just tuned in recently what Kusogrande is?
Yeah, sure. Kusogrande is a bad video game tournament that I put on. We have a full tournament going on with about 170 people over at my own channel. But here we are doing an invitational 16 people double elimination. This specific match between Nathan Bao and Smite is in the loser's bracket. The loser will be eliminated. They have 1 hour to make as much progress as they can throughout the game. So Smite has made it to level 4. That is the high mark for Nathan Bao to beat. But then again, if Smite can get back there and make even more progress, then kudos to him.
And when you say progress, it doesn't mean just completing a level, right?
Oh, no. We, especially with a match like this, because it's very easy to see horizontal progress, we've gone back and measured by pixels to see who has made more progress. And literally, we had one match where someone won by 1 pixel of progress. We're really picky when it comes to tiebreakers, especially in platformers that are easy to follow.
I see a few people asking in chat. This is a losers bracket match, and the winner of this will be in the top 8 in losers round 3. So this is a pretty big match for both players because whoever wins gets to keep going, and the other one is just unfortunately going to be out of the invitational.
I'm liking Nathan Bao's chances against the Duck this time around.
Yeah, he's dealing a lot of damage to the Duck. Going and punching, though, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but is he out of projectiles?
Yeah, he's out of batarangs. I saw him run out, and he took it down.
Oh,
Duck
yes!
fisting seems to be a valid strategy here.
Duck fisting?
You can't say that. This is GDQ channel.
No, let's look at the speedrunner. Duck's like...
Literally a speedrunner's name, Brosentia. What are you thinking about?
I'm gonna be back.
Okay, while Brosentia... Oh, no! Nod! He was just a few pixels short of that ledge, and he fell right off.
Well, meanwhile, since Brosentia's been fired, I'll be taking over the Kusogrande Invitational.
Oh! Well, everybody. We're back. Yeah, Nathan Bao died. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. This is Kusogrande, and bad video games are for families. That's all I have to say.
Let's just move on. Do you think anyone will figure out the bomb mechanic before this match ends, or are they both just...
At this point, I think they've both just accepted that the building blows off 3/4 of their health, and they think it's just a really bad feature of the game.
I think they may have in their minds, there may be some way to avoid this, but it's already so far into the match. They're just going to keep trying to run through it, take the hit.
Yeah, they both just plowed right through that right after each other with no hesitation, so it looks like they're just going to keep doing that.
Yep.
Especially since they're getting better at avoiding damage after this part. They can get pretty much up to 70-80% afterwards.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of health refills, especially if you're not worrying about enemies. So we've got just 20 minutes left. Noddenbao has a lot of work ahead of him if he wants to pass Smite's high watermark. He has to make it all the way to level 4 and then make a substantial amount of progress there. Not saying that it's impossible. Noddenbao has defied expectations previously, hence the reason he's playing here. But still, it's going to be a lot of work.
So my question is, what do you think the median income is for someone who just stands in a sewer and throws dynamite up through a sewer grate all day?
Do you get hazard pay?
I think the big question is, do they get supplied the dynamite, or do they have to buy it from their paycheck?
I imagine it has to be supplied, or at least I'd get it reimbursed, I'd probably keep a receipt for all the dynamite that I purchased just to make sure I get enough money back for that,
What's
'cause
the
you're not getting
expense
reimbursed for
process
that,
like if you're working for a supervillain?
I mean, he's trying to be a politician. He probably keeps his taxes and stuff. He's got to treat his employees right if he wants to be elected.
Isn't he actually pretty reasonably wealthy as well?
Yeah, look, he has a giant robot duck. He's wealthy. You know what? Chat is kind of right. It could be a passion job, something like, rather than become a poor, starving artist, what you can become is a poor, starving dynamite hucker.
I think I knew one of those back when I lived in, the boonies in Florida.
If you'd said anywhere other than Florida, I would have been questioning it, but no, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, so the news article of the guy in Florida who threw a baby alligator at a Wendy's drive-thru clerk, I actually knew the guy who did that.
Oh no.
Wait, what? Threw a baby alligator at a Wendy's clerk?
Yeah, that was a thing a few years
couple
ago.
years ago.
That's not very nice. Oh, Noddenbao taken to death right there. Unfortunately. There's still enough time, though, to get past Eat and to make it to level 4.
Oh yeah, you can finish this game in 10 minutes if you just run right with reckless abandon and dodge everything. So it's definitely not out of the question that it'll be finished.
It seems like a common theme with the worst games on Kusogrande is that a really well executed speedrun or a task wouldn't look that hard.
Yeah.
Because they just avoid everything.
Well, it's because they're aware there's no content, so they fill the game with crap mechanics to make it impossible to finish.
Yeah, personally, I'd say that with a lot of games, the unfortunate thing is that if you're really good at playing them, they often end up boring. I don't think that's the case with this game, because there's danger around every corner, and one wrong move could end up being a lost run. It's kind of thrilling.
I think my favorite part about this rooftop level is that the cops are smart enough to jump over the pits at you, but not accurately, and sometimes they'll just land right in the pit when they're trying to jump after you.
Now, I do want people to know there is a level select cheat on this, so if you want to learn the run and run it at a GDQ and you're worried about making it marathon safe, don't worry, there's a way.
That's incredibly good to know, said nobody ever.
I'm just trying to help out. I'm trying to help chat.
It's appreciated.
Got SGDQ coming up, and then AGDQ submissions after that, and there's gonna be an awful block, hopefully. So run some video games.
I'm not sure Mike would be the happiest about you encouraging people to submit this game for a GDQ. I'm not sure how
Whatever, Mike would be happy about it. Mike's like, oh yeah, the game that I've been wanting for the last 20 years.
I don't understand why her hair is red. Selena Kyle is blonde.
It happens.
This is like the smallest of problems with this game, okay?
I
Just roll
know!
with
It's it made me think it was Batgirl, which was very confusing.
Catwoman just almost rolled Smite with a series of kicks.
Catwoman, how could you do that? Oh my gosh. Well, she goes down. Smite is back to the 3rd level again. Only person in Kusogrande to have done that with this game. That's pretty awesome.
Unfortunately, Smite has about 3 pips of health. It's,
This isn't going to happen. I mean, the penguin rockets, they're deadly. And there's radioactive waste in the sewer? Who would do that? Oh, 1 bit of life, Smite, you desperately need it.
So did that do 2 damage, or was it because 2 projectiles hit him at the same time, he actually took twice the damage? Is
the
that a
amount
thing in
of
this game?
damage you take is, as far as I can tell, effectively random.
Oh no.
Well,
Is
yeah.
that why sometimes it does nothing? The randomness just hits a 0?
I have seen projectiles hit Batman and do no damage, yeah. It's beyond me.
So what do you think? We've had Batman. I think he might be better with... No, he needs the cape so he can kind of glide. But the rule is no capes. Do you think...
That's Incredibles rules, though, not DC. Like, is that the same universe?
I thought we only had one universe, which was ours. Railcoon. It's our universe.
Okay.
Yeah. So which is right, huh? Which is right,
Well,
capes or no capes?
I think if your cape has utility beyond just being a loose piece of fabric, it's probably okay. Because Batman uses his cape for stuff.
It's true. I wonder if you could wrap somebody in your cape and use it sort of as a sling to throw them across, like, the city. Yeah,
the entire city.
The entire city. All of city.
Are
Yeah.
you thinking of, like, setting up a trebuchet with his cape? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I wanna know how far you could fling somebody with the cape.
I think Smite has given up at this point. Unfortunate. Meanwhile, Nodden Bao is back on Penguin. He has taken out the Penguin at least once, but then died immediately at the start of level 2. I'm hoping to see a little bit more progress.
Wow, people in chat are lying that there are more than one Batman. That wouldn't make sense.
There
There's
is more than one Batman.
What?
Yeah, there's
have you
this
seen Batman
entire
Beyond?
arc about how like Bruce Wayne retired and brought in someone else to do the whole Batman shtick.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
that was
sense.
that was Batman Beyond. It was actually a really good show.
See, I thought he just dressed up as the other guy and then dressed up as Batman, double layered costume there. I guess I didn't understand the movie. Well, Smite is continuing on. Let's see if Smite can figure this out. Nope.
At this point, I think they've just both accepted that the building is going to explode, which is not a very Batman thing to do, but you know.
Yeah. You know what? For being Batman, he kills a lot of police officers in this game.
Yeah, you know.
Is it Batman killing them when they miss their jump and they fall off the building?
I mean, in a way, if he had never been there, they wouldn't have died, right?
Oh man, that's we're getting into some philosophical stuff here.
Yeah, anyone want to discuss moral philosophy?
So you
More
are a
of
Batman, and you're in control of a lever
trolley.
that controls which way a train goes. One way is 1,000 cops, and the other way is nothing. Which way
I
do you
think
send the
there's literally been a movie about that called Batman. I can't remember which Batman. The one with the two ships, you know?
The Prisoner's
The
Dilemma
Dark Knight.
in The Dark Knight, yeah.
See, we literally had that.
But that was the Prisoner's Dilemma. That wasn't the trolley car problem.
Well, there was a trolley heading towards both ships. Okay. And Batman could have pulled a lever.
Thanks, Percentia.
Diverting it from hitting the people, the prisoners, to hit the ship with the rich people. Yeah, guess what? He didn't pull the lever. Yeah, that's all I remember about that movie, too. I don't remember a lot about Batman movies I've seen. It looks like Smite is possibly chilling right now. I think that he's gotten a little bit frustrated with the amount of progress. Nothenbao is still continuing on and technically could have a chance at actually taking the lead.
Yeah, he has enough time to do it. He just has to get a good run through. It's definitely possible, so we'll see if he can manage it.
Yeah,
we were
every
trying
once
to
in a
cheer on
while.
Smite and convince him to do another try because he had enough chance to make it back to the final level, maybe make some more progress, but
Do it.
seems
Use
like
your
he's just
persuasion
satisfied.
skills. Use your persuasion, Railcoon.
I rolled a really bad roll on my persuasion. It just wasn't high enough.
You could offer him a cookie.
I do
wanna
have
see
some peanut butter
type in
cheesecake I made on top of brownies.
Ooh, tell him you'll give him cheesecake. If he plays more. If he gives it one more shot. I want to see if that convinces him.
I don't know how I would give him cheesecake. I don't want to lie.
Just lie. I don't care. Moral philosophy. It's better to lie and have him suffer even more than to never have suffered at all.
I don't think that's how that works, Percentia.
Please tell me you're not an ethics professor.
No. Okay, there. I promised him that you would give him cheesecake if he tried it once more. Will he?
Hey,
Is he
what-
gonna do this?
what?
Is he gonna do this? He's doing
Percentia
it!
promising that I will do things for him.
Oh, no. You're the one who said you had cheesecake. Of course I'm gonna promise it to somebody else.
Well, I mean, you still haven't played Prism.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, that's true.
This is Kusogrande, where two people race a bad video game and I sit here and question my life decisions.
You're the one who
gave him
chose
the
the
bad video
game.
game. Is that why you're questioning your life decisions?
I'm questioning my life decisions for a lot of reasons right now.
Ah. See, everybody here, just know that the whole reason we have Kusogrande is because I like to laugh at people playing bad video games. And so whenever I can trick them into playing just a little bit more, it's a win for me. Not necessarily for them, but for me, for sure. Not necessarily for you as well, but for me. Oh,
This
it
is an experience they can go forward in life and say was formative for the person they become years down the road.
Put it on your resume. Got to level 4 in Batman. Batman Returns. Links.
Okay, but I'm waiting for the sequel, Batman Backspaces.
So dumb. I love it, Tristan.
What about Batman Alt Tabs?
Alt tabs. Oh, jeez. He's trying to alt tab. Every jump you see is an attempt. Oh no, Nothenbao takes a death.
Oh, I think that's pretty much it for his chances. I don't think he can make it to the final level in
I don't
5
think
minutes.
At this
so, but
point,
he
no,
could make it to
probably
level
not.
3 still, or even make it to the boss. He
can
doesn't
make it-
know how far Smite is.
He can make it past his own personal checkpoint, but I don't think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
making it to Smite's. So I think what we should let him see if he can beat his own personal best, probably.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I love you all, chat. Thank you for creating other Batman titles here that are going to be classics. Oh, Smite taking some damage. He really just needs to kill the Penguin without taking any more damage. But there are bullets everywhere. How do you even deal with this? There's 1 health left. Can Smite do it with 1 health? Oh,
Nope.
and the answer is no. Good try. That's okay. He'll still enjoy his cheesecake after the match.
I never agreed to this.
I don't care. Could have said cheesecake. Yeah, there's really no way that Smite could make it back. I think we have to... What do you think, Railcoon? Neither of them can really get back to where they were. Smite, in addition, can't get past his personal best. The places aren't going to change. Do we call it?
Because Nod died, so
In that case,
he's probably not going to make it.
Let's go ahead and say the match is called. We know Smite has taken the victory and Noddenbao has taken second. Mr. Time, go ahead and hit that beautiful time. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so Noddenbao got about as far as the racers in the prior race of this got, and Smite is some kind of Kusoge yokai, and I don't know what the heck just happened.
Yeah, this has been, I don't know, I was surprised with how Smite did. This game is not easy. It's not trivial at all.
All right, I'm giving them the ability to join voice if they want to talk briefly before we go to break.
They may kill me.
No,
you can tell them they can join the green room.
I'm not sure they will.
We have a Smite and a Noddenbao. Hello, fellows.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah, well, Tristan is a little bit concerned about your emotions here, so we just want to make sure nobody dies. But I'll go ahead and soften that with Railcoon's cheesecake, okay?
I never agreed to this.
You got to make 2 cheesecakes now. Noddenbao also gets some.
Do you guys want to know about the exploding building?
I know there's something to it because that's not right, but I couldn't figure out how to avoid taking only. I could narrow it down to just taking most of my life. Sometimes it took all of it, and I think jumping helped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the gimmick to that is there is exactly 1 pixel behind the mailbox you can duck down and not take damage.
Ah, because being between the mailbox and the building is good cover.
It's USPS, they're there to protect and serve and deliver the mail despite blowing up buildings,
Is he climbing into the mailbox? That would make sense.
No, you just duck behind it, that's all. That'd be cool if you could climb inside, though. Just sort of slide in.
Well,
I'm pretty sure the postage on
Wouldn't that
shipping
actually be
Batman
illegal?
would just be too much.
Yeah, probably. Smite,
Isn't,
though...
Isn't opening the mailbox and messing with it illegal?
Yeah, it is. Don't do that. Smite, I'm going to go ahead and say congratulations. We've had this game in a previous match before. You made it to stage 4, and nobody else had beaten stage 2. So I was shocked.
Well, my back groove was really flowing on that one because there's just a bunch of instant death on stage 2, and it's all about...
It's everywhere.
It's just those shotgun guys. Everyone else is irrelevant. It's just those dudes. So if you just make sure they're not there when you jump, and I went in there 4 more times with that mindset and still couldn't make it through.
Yeah, you did make it back to the Penguin level once, but besides that...
the Penguin level isn't too bad, but
they're so cute!
Man, they all die in one hit, but one of them has 7 missiles. He just fires every time. He became my MVP Penguin.
You have to get to the Penguin level sometime, okay? The Penguins are so awesome.
Sure.
So, what are your thoughts about the game here?
I like that you can jump into a pit and spawn an enemy that kills you. That's very fun.
Wait, what?
You jump over the pit, you move the screen forward, and an enemy walks out and they shoot you, and you just fall down.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Huh. I didn't
Tris-
know that hits were a death thing for sure. Even when
Yeah.
on the final level, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to use these falling platforms. I figured I was, but then something stunned me, and it wasn't a shotgun cop.
I'm not 100%
I think it was one of the
sure how you
penguins.
died.
Because they shoot fireworks. I think it was a penguin that got you.
It was
It-
a heartbreak.
It was, but still, I think that was relatively close to the end. The fourth stage is the final stage in the game. Which, honestly, it needs to be, because this game is unplayable.
If
It's
only I had a couple lives or a continue or something. I felt like maybe I was missing that. No continues at all. Anywhere.
No, you weren't missing that. You can cheat and give yourself lives, but that's cheating, Smite.
That is cheating. I would never do that. Batman never cheats. Batman confronts authorities.
Yeah, punches them in the face. That's how Batman does it.
I screen crapped that. I'm tweeting it right now. That's a glorious message.
Our-
Just getting them in the
Our
middle of the
official
game.
referee is telling us that you died to one of the bomb mimes.
Oh man.
There's a mime that's a bomb? That's terrifying. I don't like it. I'm just
Well, there
gonna
were,
go
there were
ahead and
mimes that were
forget.
carrying the big, like, cartoonish, oversized bombs, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kate's
Oh.
saying that he died to one of those.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Mimes, just avoid mimes, everybody. I think if you take anything away from this match, it's avoid mimes at all costs.
It's a good
Tris-
life lesson.
Yeah, Tristan, by the way, said that the best way to play this game is to not play it and just ignore pretty much every mechanic and go right.
That was my strategy. There's a couple MVP enemies that I feel like you do need to kill. The gun guys in stage
Oh,
1
yeah.
are absolutely nuts. They have to be stopped. They just cannot be allowed to exist. And in stage 2, it's the police with the shotguns. And in stage 3, it was the penguins with the Gatling missiles.
Yeah, I'd say so. But all the other enemies, who cares? Just leave, you know? As long as they don't knock you down, you're probably fine just ignoring them. Well, cool. Anything else you want to say before we take back off to a short little break?
Cautious playing is the way in this game, but man, I knew there was something with that building. I didn't think it was worth the time to try and figure it out, though, because I found a way through anyway.
Tristan thought about telling you both how to do it, but then they opted not to. So
There's enough health right afterwards, and you have 2 or 3 punches worth of HP to go get it.
Yeah, you can do it. And you both did it. You both got through. That worked. Ah, cool. Well, thank you both, Nod and Bow and Smite. Smite, you're going to continue on. Nod and Bow, you're eliminated, but I know that you're a game master. You can just take it out on somebody else, you know? Find some good games for them to play.
Alright.
Thank you.
Well, cool. We'll go ahead and throw it back to Railcoon. Railcoon, take it away.
All right, we are going to head to a break real quick. We're going to have our third match coming up, NPC Lives versus Proton John, as our final match of the night. We have solidified our top 8 at this point, but those two are going to be in winners round 3, trying to advance on in the winner side of the bracket and make it easier for themselves. So stay tuned, we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, and we're back. Welcome back to the Kusogrande Invitational. We're here in week number 7 of our 16-player double elimination bracket. We just finished up the last couple of matches to see who gets into the round of 8. So we've got all of that determined, and we're going to start with our first winners bracket round 3 match. It's going to be NPC Lives versus Proton John, and we've got one of our infamous GMs here with us, Dana.
Hello.
What do you have for us today? I always get a little bit worried when we've got you here because your games. I've seen some amazing things from your games.
Yeah.
It is a video game. That's really all I can say about this at this point.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this game.
There
what
are a few
system
people
is it?
who
Is
will
it
have heard of this, but there's not even a long play on YouTube for this. There's a couple 5-minute clips of this game, but that's it. So,
Oh no.
so
Oh,
what
no.
I'm giving out today is a nice DOS game called Cybernetic Ranger.
Ooh. It's like
And
cowboys in the future.
It's actually got a long. It's actually called Cybernetic Ranger: Secret of the Seventh Planet. Is the full title.
There were a couple emphatic "oh no's" in chat, so I think a few people have seen this.
It's
There
not
is-
good.
There was a Macaw playthrough, but since he did it half a year ago and didn't archive it, it's gone. So we can't even. It's gone too.
That's okay. We'll go ahead and provide YouTube with the longest footage of this game ever.
Yes.
So what style of game is this? Is this a platformer? Is it an adventure game? What do we
Yes.
have?
Yes.
Both?
It's mostly a platformer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll go with platformer. There are a couple other things that happen in this game, but for the most part, it is a platformer.
It
We'll
looks
talk
like
about it
Corn
when we
Dan.
get there.
Oh, thank you, by the way, for being here, Corn Dan. He's also one of our GMs, staff for Kusogrande, so I'm really glad that you're here to commentate and share a little of the joy here.
Well, I mean, Dana did have me test this game out twice.
I was not feeling completely 100%. Giving out this game has made me feel better. But I made Cordan suffer through about 20 minutes of this before he said no more.
Oh, you know
So,
what?
yeah,
But we have
I
a
will-
full hour.
I will point out that this is what happens when you give Dana Rockman X4 and he wants to put the suffering on someone else.
Dana, you're just. I know that you've been feeling a little ill. I'm hoping that this can be your like peppermint tea. You know, just clear those.
It warms my soul, or what
Oh,
little
good.
of that I have.
Well,
A
good,
couple
good,
people
good.
in chat have already looked up pictures and they're like, "This looks awful." Just wait until you see it in motion.
I only see the title screen. That's all I've got. Okay,
It's the
it
best looking
looks.
thing in the whole game.
The players appear to be ready. We are just going to be switching over in a minute, and then I think it's time for us to rock this. So, what do you think would be good emotes for chat to spam?
Spaceships. Salt.
Any sci-fi thing that they want to throw out there, laser guns, spaceships,
Ooh,
go for it.
Salt. Salt.
salt.
Yes.
Salt. Salt's a good one. Definitely throw out salt if you got it.
I mean, there's the classic salt emote.
So everybody get your emotes ready and start spamming. I see some Proton John fans showing up. Awesome to see you. I'll do the countdown right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we will get rocking in just a second.
All right, Dana. So if you had to give the short answer question on describing this game, how would you categorize this game?
How would I categorize this game? I would definitely go with what?
It's a platformer.
It's definitely a platformer.
Are you
It's
sure?
space.
It may not look like one at the moment, but it's definitely a platformer.
Okay.
This is just a little interstitial get to your level, like you're flying to the ship. That's totally
Okay.
not like an Enterprise.
That's totally nothing taken from Star Trek, clearly.
Oh, no.
That's a Star Treader. And now we get to the inside of the space.
Oh, no.
What have you done, Dana?
So, we will point out, right, the story is that your parents were on this ship 18 years ago and went through this, like, wormhole to get out here. And, then they sent you away to protect you when the ship blew up. And so now you're, like, half robot, because you're all cybernetic. And so you're back here to figure out what's going on and save the world from whatever robots killed your parents.
Are we cybernetic or cybergenic?
We're
Little
yes.
both. Little Jedic here, little Netic here, you know. Don't ask too many questions.
Where did you find this game?
This is a Macaw classic. I've gotten so much material just from watching Macaw play video games, because even though he likes them, they're usually trash.
So here's the deal. Macaw is somebody who does a lot of one-critic clears for arcade games, but he's been playing weird games quite a bit, and for some reason, he claims to like every video game known to humankind.
We have found a couple that he doesn't, but it's so rare.
Yeah, he's objectively wrong. Let me just say.
Yes. So, what these guys need to do here is, you see that door with the green arrow on it? They need to go in the door. They don't actually need to kill anything in here. You can avoid all of these guys. If you could somehow jump all of them, you could actually avoid them all. They just need to get to the door and then go through the door to find the first.
How
Do you just push up to go through?
You just push up.
Okay. What is the jump button in this game?
Enter.
The controls in this game...
Okay, talk about the controls.
What are they? The controls in this game are abysmal.
Okay.
There's very little way they could have made this worse.
So, what are the controls?
So...
Arrow keys move.
Arrow keys move. Enter key jumps. The spacebar fires.
Why is it enter?
I mean,
I've seen worse.
Like,
but we're not done.
DOS,
there are special weapons.
Oh no!
And they used like
the numpad
and a jump pack, a jetpack that uses slash, the one on the keypad.
Oh
the
no!
Asterisk is the salt shooter on the keypad.
Oh no!
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Is this one of the games where if you turn off numlock, you can use just the number pad and spacebar?
No.
Well, honestly, I have not tested.
Does the enter key on the numpad count as jumping?
I don't think it did.
Okay.
So,
because some of those games that you could use that as the enter key and that would work, but some of them didn't, and that was just always terrible.
You cannot use numpad arrows. I do remember that not working. So
it looks like Proton John is leaving. NPC left a little bit earlier and is onto Ice Planet.
Okay,
what is this?
In a second, I will tell you about Ice Level, but first I told them specifically, no matter how much you really, really will want to, no, you can't use joy to key. You're going to have to use the default keyboard.
That's just
Dana.
So I also want to point out that NPC is floating on air, right? As soon as you hit the bottom, you don't die, you just sit there.
Yeah.
Can you die in the game?
They didn't bother drawing a bottom floor to it, so you just kind of stand on the air.
I presume you can die, though, right?
You can die, just not
from falling.
Not
there's a health bar at the top.
So the objective here is to take your little yellow dot and get to the little red dot.
Red dot.
Oh, there's a map.
So,
so this map is barely helpful. The biggest problem here is the platforms. These platforms look awfully nice until you realize what NPC is doing there. He's jumping and they're disappearing underneath him.
What?
Because any platform that moves off the screen is going to disappear. Because platforms are completely randomly generated.
Oh, no.
I was curious about that, because it seems like they're changing.
They 100% are.
If you jump and that platform leaves the screen, it's not going to be there when you come back down.
How is this?
No.
How?
Is this revenge for Rockman X4?
Oh, it's glorious. If only I could have made Gordon... Oh, wait, I did make him play this for 20 minutes, and he hated this stage as much as I did.
So they found something earlier than I did, is that you can hit escape, and it resets the level. Right? You beam out to the beginning of the level, which resets where that red dot is. So you're actually better off resetting the level until you get a dot that's close.
I love it.
Could you get a dot that's on the bottom and then just follow the bottom and walk to it?
The best scenario, honestly, is if the dot ends up right underneath you and you just fall into it.
I think Proton John is starting to figure out how stupid the platforms are.
Yes.
And by
This is
starting, I
amazing,
mean,
Dana.
Dana,
So
this is unallowed. This is bad.
This is bad. Yeah. So one thing we didn't point out is where they were in that room where it said stand by, they were there to teleport to a place to get their first special weapon, and it's a salt shooter.
Yeah.
Which is why we were asking that you should throw salt right in chat.
Oh, yeah. I'm just kind of in shock with this game already.
Oh, and you'll notice that most of the time they're really just jumping straight up. And you'd think, you'd want to jump horizontally to try to get to places, because that would make sense, right?
That sounds like a
Trying
nightmare.
to jump horizontally in this game.
It's the worst.
I also noticed that it seems like they're jumping twice when they don't want to. Like, they jump up, land on a platform, and jump again.
Oh, because it
That's
checks
them holding down the enter key.
because it checks every frame. If you're on a platform and you've hit the enter button, even if you just held it down, you're jumping.
Yeah, that does not look helpful.
It is, in fact, the opposite of helpful. So they're both probably going to be here for a little while. Now the thing is, once you get to,
Yeah.
there's a whole area, essentially once you get to where that red dot is, it doesn't matter where on the screen you are. If the red dot is where you should be, you teleport to the boss. There's no door, there's no anything. You just go straight to the boss.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Okay, NPC is
no.
resetting the stage. And you have an F name. Okay.
Horizontal jumping in this actually can be done. It took me about a half an hour to figure out how to do it properly and consistently. And consistently was kind of a stretch of a word there. But if you press enter a fraction of a second before you hit the arrow key, and then hold the arrow key and the enter, you will actually go horizontally. If you press them both at the same time, no, you're going vertical.
Wait, you have to hit enter first?
So you have to feather touch it. And it's bad.
That's weird. Oh, he got a really good red dot here. Can he get it?
Well, not good enough.
If he could jump proper, maybe?
No, probably
No,
not
he
now.
fell too far.
Wow.
If he could horizontal jump, that he'd be able to do it. But he hasn't.
It looked like he might have been able to do it if he just held right the entire time. Oh, he's figured out the strat. He's just reloading it.
Yeah, he's just reloading it.
Yeah. Proton John still hasn't quite figured that strat out, but I think it's going to be the most helpful one.
Oh, he just missed it.
NPC, no! Oh my gosh, this game is impossible. How is this a game that was developed? I need to look this up. Okay.
So, I was asked to explain the bars at the top. The red one is your health. I believe the blue one in the middle is your salt meter.
I think so.
And I don't remember what the other two are, but they're probably also weapon.
I have an objection. Why is their salt meter not completely full?
Because it's only been 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we should see that growing over the course of the stream.
So they claim that this game was inspired by Altered Beast? I refuse to believe that.
I mean, inspired is a pretty strong word there. Oh, is he going to make it?
He did not jump horizontally.
No. Where's my... Did I lose the name?
So it sounds like you have to do some, fighting game plinking nonsense to actually jump horizontally in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The controls are just so weird.
They are absolutely the worst. There's even they even add a function.
Oh, look at that spawn!
A keyboard argument to make the keyboard less sensitive to make some of this easier, and it's still impossible.
He got it! He got one that spawned directly underneath him.
Oh, there he goes.
That's going to make a huge...
And now the
no
boss.
health.
Oh, he's dead.
So, by the way, there's no iframes.
Yeah. No.
I mean, why would there be iframes, you know?
There are 0 iframes, and so
there's
what you
that
have to do
tiny-
is jump over that guy.
That tiny, tiny blue bar that you saw that used to be where the salt meter was, that was his health. That was the boss's health. I don't know why they changed the HUD for that. Wow, he got it really lucky on that one.
I think he used his salt right there.
Oh no! Oh no! He's stuck inside the hitbox!
Oh no!
No!
His health meter just vanished.
Absolutely generated.
By the way, I'm looking a little bit at this company. As far as I can tell, they only created one other game, which was a point and click that strangely reminds me of the video game Weird Dreams, because I've been spending a lot of time in there. There's a brain with an eyeball in it. How about that? That's...
Oh,
yeah,
it might be John's turn here. He's above it, and he only needs to go right a little bit.
There he goes! On to the boss!
So, somebody mentioned, they asked about the comic book. Yes, the manual comes with like a 15-page comic book. You are required to have this because when you load up the game, it's going to ask you for a word from a bubble in a square of a page of the comic book before it'll load the game.
Oh, classic DOS copy protection.
It's so good.
Nice.
But it only recognizes the words about 2/3 of the time.
Yeah, it was questionable.
So I've got a review here for this game, reviewed by Tom Campbell, who said, a massive state-of-the-art arcade game, Cybernetic Ranger, consumes almost 5 megabytes of disk space, requires at least a 12 megahertz machine with EGA video. VGA is infinitely better, and deserves every bit of the pampering you give it. The story is lovingly detailed in a professionally produced comic book, a comic that also serves as copy protection. You have to enter a randomly chosen word from the book before you can start. I just wanted you to know that we're about 3 sentences in. They haven't even mentioned the game. They mentioned that your computer needs to be good. Okay, while the plot is pulp, the graphics are, dare I say it, out of this world.
Why is there no boss health bar?
Because sometimes it's just not there.
Can you kill him when it's not there?
Yes. It was not there when I killed him.
And here's, I believe you were giving us amazing lore, Prasentia.
Oh yeah, this is a review. If you've been waiting for a game whose makers had the guts to leave CGA behind, wait no longer. Cybernetic Ranger features scrolling backgrounds for a true arcade 3D effect. As you move the character through scenery, objects further back move more slowly than objects near the front. So, Parallax. Digitized music plays remarkably well through the PC speaker, though of course the Sound Blaster and AdLib boards offer superior sound. They literally have not talked about the gameplay at all. Holy crap. While there are some ho-hum space battles, interesting travel on the surface of 7 different moons and planets more than compensates. Quick-moving, 256-color monsters left me with the impression that I should have been feeding quarters into my 386. Cybernetic Ranger pushes the machine to the limit and is every bit as exciting as a visit to your neighborhood arcade.
I mean, that's pretty standard for reviews back then. It was all about how much does it push the technology a lot more than
the technology.
Is it a game?
The technology in the manual, it tells you about the real sound, trademark, information, and it shows you a diagram of the cable that you will need to build in order to hook it up to your computer properly.
Whatever, they did Parallax on the Nintendo for some games, you know? That wasn't exactly groundbreaking technology when this game came out.
Can you die on this screen, like where you're
Yes.
trying to shoot the asteroids?
Yes.
So it looks like there are some people asking about what Kusogrande is. We are a bad video game tournament. Right now, both players have my words, apparently, because I forgot what I was talking about. They have 1 hour to make as much progress as they can in this game. Whoever makes the most progress during that hour takes the victory. Now, this is the winner's bracket, so either player could potentially win, and if they lose, that's okay. They're still in the tournament. NPC is currently in the lead, fighting Pink Tornado.
So unfortunately, John sort of figured out a way to trigger the red dot respawning, but he's doing it the slow way. He's actually backing all the way out to the main menu and reloading the game instead of just warping out. So that's going to cost him a lot of time when he has to do that a bunch.
Yes.
Oh!
But he's on to the next boss, which took me a little bit to figure out because, yeah, that happens.
Kind of walks into you when you die.
Yeah.
These boss fights slay me. Just they walk at you and then they stand on top of you and your health bar just disappear.
Yes.
So this boss has a method. There is actually a simple method to beat this boss, but it did take me several retries to figure it out. He has a very standard pattern of going to one side of the screen, jumping into the foreground, coming at you, and then jumping into the background again, and repeat. Now, he's going to hit you when he gets to the side that you're on, unless you're walking against the wall.
What? Really?
If you turn around and walk against the wall, your hitbox doesn't connect.
Oh my god, so it's Mortal Kombat 1.
That's going to take a while to figure out.
Yep. We found out on accident.
Do you remember Mortal Kombat 1 had a similar thing against Goro? As a child, I could never figure out how to beat him until I figured out if you jumped backwards in the corner, he couldn't hit you.
And now I think he might be trying to. I don't know if he's going to do, because one of the things I tried to do was farm salt on this section to try to get some ammo. And every power up that spawns from killing a monster in the cloud stage just flies straight into the air. So it's like impossible to pick them up.
I also noticed that he used his salt, and then when he died, he didn't get his salt meter back.
Nope, he did not.
The salt meter was so it persists through deaths, because he kept it through deaths before.
Oh. Yes. Your salt and everything persists through death.
Oh, John almost... Oh.
Yeah.
So little health left on the boss.
It's okay. He's got another chance here. Just got to fall down to the red dot and teleport. There we go. Can you jump over the boss reliably at all?
Kind of.
Yes, you can.
You'll take damage.
Well, as much as you can...
He's alive! He's alive! He might do this!
If you can actually reliably do a horizontal jump, you can leap over him without issue.
Oh, look! NPC did in fact figure out how to dodge.
Figure out the strat. Oh no! Proton John! No!
Did you notice you can go a little bit further to the left if you turn around? You did get hit that time, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't that much damage. Wow.
So I guess it's not completely foolproof, but it saves a lot of damage.
Yeah, it hits you like 1 out of 10. It depends on how... I think he's cutting it a little too close. I think you need to be actually walking instead of just turning around.
Yes.
Yeah, see...
Here's the deal, viewers. Both NPC Lives and Proton John are great players. NPC actually won one of the Kusogrande tournaments before. I am not surprised to see how he's doing here. Proton John has made it pretty dang far in tournaments as well, but has never quite made it to the end. I'm just like, I honestly, although I know there are a lot of Proton John fans in chat right now, it's just a very difficult game. And you know, I think Proton John is going to start making up some ground in a little bit. As long as he can figure out a way to kill the boss, the other levels seem a little bit more straightforward.
That's arguable, but...
Teeny bit!
I thought NPC was going to get comboed by the little bee.
Well...
Oh.
No! Platforming in this game is not okay.
It's very, very not okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm assuming this is why you said that it's mostly a platformer.
Yes. It's a platformer in that it has platforms.
Well, it has a lot of platforms. Someplace.
Sometimes. depending on when you jump.
These giant iguanas that are just health sponges that are in your way are kind of not okay.
You can jump over them.
I mean, you do have a jetpack at this point in time.
He does have a jetpack, and he also has bombs that he could drop in front of him. They don't really help that much, but you could drop bombs in front of him.
So,
John?
as it turns out, one of the people who helped with this game actually helped with, from what I can see, the DOS port of Bible Adventures. I'm not even kidding you. The person who wrote the storyline for this game, ported Bible Adventures to DOS.
Well, I have played Bible Adventures for DOS. It is not very good.
I mean, I can imagine. Yeah, the person who did the audio only did this game.
So, how many levels are there? Are we just going through picking up all
7.
4 special weapons and then there's like a final area? Or is there, like, how much is there to this game?
There are 7 planets that you have to go through to get the special weapons, fix up your ship, and then go deal with the regenerators once and for all.
Oh. So where... Is there an easy way to see how many of those you've gotten? Oh, giant spider. Uh-oh.
Giant spider. I really like the background for this spider boss, though. It's really nice. Like, it looks
It
really
is really nice,
cool.
but it doesn't fit the rest of the game at all. It
No, it
looks like
doesn't!
part
It's
of
a really nice background.
It looks like it's part of some Halloween arcade game, you know?
Yeah.
Also, those are really big skeletons. Like, they're just really, like, are either you're just really tiny, or the people here are really big.
I mean, those
They're
were really big iguanas. Maybe he got shrunk when he came here.
It's possible.
I think that's the story in my head. If there's an official story, I'm just gonna ignore it and stay with the you got shrunk when he came here.
I'll allow it.
At least the hitbox on this
The
spider
spider-
seems pretty
spider.
generous.
The spider can do things to pretty much instant kill you, but if it doesn't do that, it's fairly safe.
Until it then turns around and does it.
Until it does that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, now he has to go through all those iguanas again.
Like I said, you can like those little green platforms. Those are actually platforms that he's walking by. So you can actually jump on those and then jump over most of the iguanas.
Depending on where they
game is
spawn, I guess.
Depending on where they
on
spawn.
top of one of them.
Like, this is not a game that you play at all like a video game. It's something I've never experienced before. This is a monstrosity.
I have been saving this game.
You have left Brosentia without words, Dana. Look at what you've done.
I'm so happy.
I've got a few words.
But how many words we can said on the stream?
Yeah, not many. Hey, Proton John is through. Moving on from the ice world. Oh my gosh, that has to be relieving to know.
Oh,
that
he's
he
probably
never
so
has to
happy
come
to
back.
get past that stupid boss.
Celebrate. Wait, do you actually have to pilot in this part?
Yeah, you do
Yes.
actually have to pilot. You have a lot of health in the ship stage.
Oh, good.
And you don't really have, I mean, you just have to avoid stuff more than anything. It will get you to your destination no matter what you do.
Okay.
So, I see in chat, Nikasor, one of our other showrunners, has said that this is more of an interactive art exhibit than a video game, and, you know, that seems appropriate.
You can
That
kind of
seems
see that. I mean, it
generous.
came with a comic book. It looks very, you know, well drawn for the era, with the exception of his sprite. Like,
I mean, if you're really into Laternalia, then sure, this is an art exhibit of sorts. Laternalia being graffiti in restrooms, but
yeah, there is
like-
a power up that just maxes out all your bars.
I do like that
Oh,
means
that'd be
his salt meter is now full.
So much salt.
Well, one of those is the bomb meter.
Yeah, the blue one is the salt, the purple is the bomb.
To use the bomb, let me scroll down here to the quick reference. To deploy bombs, you use the minus key.
What? Why?
On the numpad.
Yeah, it does have to be the numpad one. I'm pretty sure I tried to use the normal one and it didn't work.
This is so dumb. How can you jump and shoot and deploy a bomb at the same time?
Why
Yeah,
would you
like,
prevent them from changing the controls? That's so evil.
Hey, Proton John is on to Tornado World.
Where he's gonna find out about that boss. That boss is amazing.
I'm gonna mention something that's in the keys because they're probably not gonna find this. To use the secret weapon, use tilde key.
What?
What? It's like to go all the way from numpad minus over to tilde?
Yes.
It uses the whole range of your computer. Wow, that is beautiful.
That's
Now,
where you cue the
The
classic.
secret weapon's even better than you think. Because it's a one-use item.
Oh no.
Period.
Is that a thing where if you use it too early you can't complete the game? Does it do one of those?
We're not sure, because I think you can complete the game without it, but the last boss is a whole lot easier if you just hit the secret weapon and one-shot it.
So, did you not even tell them the controls?
Oh, we gave him the manual.
Oh.
Yep, we gave them the entire manual. Which is really important, and I hope they read these controls, because there's also... To talk to characters, use F5 key.
To talk to characters? First off, what? Second off, what?
Why?
Who do you talk to? Do you talk to this freaking spider?
You could talk
hey,
to
Mr.
the spider.
Spider, don't eat me. What?
You could talk to the spider if you
What
wanted
does
to.
You can! You can talk to every monster in this game. If you're close to them and you hit the F5 key, it'll pop up a little quote about the monster.
Now here's the thing.
Dana.
Because you may or may not get there, there's a wizard later on the 5th planet that if you talk to, or unless you talk to them, they kill you.
Yeah, if you try to shoot him instead, because he kind of looks like a boss, he's standing up on a cliff and looming ominously over you. If you try to shoot him, he will just annihilate you. One shot, one kill.
You talk to him, you're good.
Proton John is still working on figuring out this boss, seeing if he can just damage race the boss. It's not going to happen.
No, not really. Oh, did he get the spider?
He killed the spider. Spider's dead.
The spider is down.
By the way, we still have half an hour. There is still time for a lead change. NPC is definitely getting pretty strong.
There's a spot where so
That sound that went with it was amazing.
Oh, well, you know that.
Oh gosh, this game is illegal.
Now, mind you, right here, you're supposed to horizontal jump on everything.
Also,
and we've already established that's not really possible.
No, it's not.
and I want to point out,
no,
he does have access to the jet boost. The jet
But they
boost
also
is
take
really
your health.
special because it consumes health.
What? No. No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I can hear Dana. I feel like I can hear Dana's sickness going away from the Schadenfreude that's going on here.
I don't think I'm gonna stop smiling for the rest of the day. Like, this is amazing.
This game is so bad, you don't even know, and it's so amazing because of it.
Some people need like chicken noodle soup to get better when they're sick. Dana just gives out games like this.
Yeah.
It makes me feel warm inside.
Congratulations.
So
You might be a demon.
I would describe this as there's some games that you just know when you try them out as a game master for Kusogrande, right? Some games take a little while to figure out if this is really appropriate for Kusogrande. Some games you hit the title screen like this one and you know that you're going to be giving this to somebody eventually.
I think that after playing this for about 1 or 2 minutes, you'd have a pretty strong feeling. But it has just gotten even stronger.
It's so powerful.
Like, I'm trying to find out more about this company, but there's like no information about this.
And that's the other thing. There's almost nothing on the internet about this game. There's like, the game exists. You can find the manual on the archive.org. I recommend people go check for that because the archive.org manual shows the comic book and everything, so you could go look that up. But like, for long plays, there's a couple 5-minute YouTube clips that don't even get through the first boss.
Like, I'm looking up the company Symptus, and the top result is, are video games addictive or harmful? And I think
this one might be harmful.
Yeah,
I have an important question, Dana.
Okay.
Are the platforms on this stage randomized?
Yes.
Because they don't look consistent.
I'm gonna say probably. I don't remember, but I'm gonna say it's very, very likely. Oh, look, he made it to the boss level.
He's walking the wrong way.
Okay.
Walking the wrong way.
There we go.
Proton John still hasn't figured out this boss and how to avoid taking damage. Oh! Walking into the boss's knees is not the right move. I love that this whole boss, it's just walk back and forth and then jump into the background. Walk back and forth and then jump into
Such a good pattern.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got a good strut, not gonna lie. I'm seeing a window into my soul here.
Oh, here
So
he
that's
is!
the wizard.
The wizard!
The wizard!
Oh, he attacked the wizard! Rip!
Oh, don't attack the wizard.
You don't even like visibly die or anything.
no,
You just
and
get
then
teleported
fist
back.
What is this combo?
Oh, it seems like sometimes the platforms you get on this stage can just do that to you.
Yes,
and you've got no recourse.
This is so not okay.
Oh, you sound a little too happy about this not being okay,
This
bro.
is a perfect video game. This is so perfect.
Dana is going to use... I mean, Brosencha is going to use this on someone in the future. I can tell.
This was... this is sat on my list. This entire tournament. Like, the entire main Kuso tournament. I was waiting for 4th round to give this out to 2 people in the brackets. Because I was like, I was not giving this out to 4 people. I'm not going to give this to anybody who's not at the top of the charts. And then this one came along in the Invitational. I was like, NPC and Proton John?
And we can make 2,000 people watch this.
I could make so many people watch this.
This is...
And punish 2 of our best players at the same time.
This is
I think it's time.
Yeah. I don't think 2,000 people have heard of this.
Well, they have now. Oh, you're so evil.
Oh my god.
Not allowing them to change the controls is just icing on this amazing cake.
If the game didn't allow control changing, neither do I. You didn't have Joyda Key back in 1990.
I mean, it's cruel. I think it is more cruel than the time that I made people play an NES game using the letter A for the A button, the letter B for the B button.
Oh, that was pretty fun.
Oh,
what? Yeah, it was... What, U for up, D for down, L for left, R for right?
Oh no, why?
It was April Fool's. That's why.
That's awful.
It was so much fun.
You sound so
John
happy
just
about
keep
it.
running.
Oh,
All
it
right,
was the best.
John might.
The question is, has NPC actually read the manual enough to know there is a talk button? Because I haven't even seen him try to talk to anything.
Probably not.
Nah.
We warned them multiple times to read the manual. This is completely on them.
How long is the manual?
Okay,
Like
it's a
40
pretty long
pages.
manual if you count the comments.
Wait, what?
Proton John killed the boss. He's
He's
moving
standing
on.
behind the hitbox.
He's been using bombs. Wait, you don't have to do a flying section before moving on?
Nope, it automatically teleports you to the swamp.
Okay, that's
so
nice.
That's a very interesting thing that NPC is noting. It's not killing him because he's not in range of the fire, but he notices every time he shoots. What do you do?
And then it eventually just killed him anyway.
And then he just eventually just like, no, just die. Okay. He's a wizard. Wizards are jerks.
To be fair, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I thought maybe he'd be able to exploit the fight by standing back there the entire time. It's like, is this an oversight? Did he find a way?
This game is so bad. Oh, my soul cries for the players. But in a way that's very happy that they're suffering, you know? It's like the way that you cry when you see a loved one, you know? That's how I'm crying right now.
It's amazing.
So yeah, this obviously gives John a good bit of time to catch up if NPC just does not remember that there's a talk key. Neither of them had used the talk key at all.
It's interesting.
So I don't know if they remember or if they just didn't read far enough.
It's interesting because in these
I don't
matches, when
know.
this happens, sometimes you can see the point where they like stop and read the manual.
Yep, we might eventually see that happen, although NPC thinks he's found a cheese spot.
But there's no health meter for this wizard.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually kill the wizard.
If you notice, he still has his main 2 meters instead of the blue meter being the enemy.
I'd honestly be really concerned if you can, because if you kill the wizard, then you're not going to find out how to beat the game.
Or does the wizard tell you how to beat the game?
I think he gives you another important thing in order to continue.
Oh,
We'll
no.
see. If I wonder about cheesing him.
I don't think
I'd say
you can.
keep doing it. You know, let Proton John have a little more time to catch up here. But I want to see.
The problem is, since there's no health bar, like, at what point do you give up? How much time do you put into the cheese strategy? Because you can't tell if it's working, so, like, you're always worried, well, if it's working, am I giving up with it having, like, 2 hits left?
Yeah, I'm very curious if NPC is going to give up, or if he just thinks that this boss has a lot of health.
I appreciate White Panther there. Sometimes you just have to stab the fish 40 times.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let me go back and find this manual that you gave. Where is the manual?
It's actually in the directory of the game we sent out.
I can post you a link to the archive.org.
Yeah, do that. Give it to me. Because I want to see if it's like on page 56 or something where it says, press F4 to go to
There's
F5.
a quick reference page on page 18 or 19 of 22 pages.
So does that
Quick
menu
reference
include the
page,
comic
all-
as well?
It does.
Oh my god.
It does, yeah. Okay, let me see. Wow, the comic is so much better done than literally everything in the game. Like, the first page of the comic is kind of beautiful. Like, they had legit comic book people doing this.
Yes, yeah. The comic is legit for 1990.
Yeah, holy crap. This is so good.
It's
Oh my
like
gosh.
a real comic.
It's a real comic.
Like if that was the intro to like a new Marvel superhero, you would totally believe it.
Okay, for quick reference, to talk to characters, use F5 key. Yeah, it's in there. But that's also page like on archive.org, 18 out of 22, or in the text, it's page 6. Wait, there are different difficulties?
Yeah, we told him to stay on the same difficulty because it doesn't really matter in the long run, I don't think.
Okay.
It's probably just more HP / damage, and I wasn't going to mess with difficulty settings.
I love how it says about changing the difficulty. This feature can be used throughout the planet scenes for maximum challenge and enjoyment.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it now that I'm not playing it.
I wonder how long NPC is going to sit here and shoot the wizard.
I think we're approaching the point where he's going to start giving up, but the question is, how stubborn is NPC?
There comes the point where you have to figure out, this obviously isn't working. But with games of this era, you really don't know when that point is.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's why it comes down to how
a little bit of an assumption. It's because we have had games with like minutes long battles like this. It's not right.
Yes,
but
we have. We've had 10-minute long bosses.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to think, like a Pokemon bootleg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like 40 jumps on the boss that you had to do, and oh my gosh, it just took so long, and there's no reason. But at the same time, you think, they made this game, they know. And there's no indication that, hey, you should talk to this person rather than shoot them, other than that their fire is pretty dang huge. But the fact that he found a spot where he takes no damage.
It's really bad that he found a spot where he didn't die. It's really honestly bad that he found that.
The other big cue is that every time he's come up here, he's had the free reign to move around the screen, do anything he wants until he shoots.
Right.
Hey,
in fact,
Proton
if he
John
stopped
is
shooting right
moving.
now, so would the wizard.
I want you to know, John is on to the next planet.
Oh, he is catching up.
Yeah, that's
it's
the same
time
one,
to
right?
see him die immediately. Oh, I love it. Wait, it's only 90 degrees Celsius? How can it be 90 Celsius when you're literally in lava?
It's fine.
I think that's the overall temperature of the planet. So you're in lava, but the whole planet is 90 degrees Celsius?
I don't buy it. That's dumb. That did not take long. I'm glad he saved.
If both players reach the wizard and do not get past him, then NPC will take it because he got there first.
He did get there first.
Oh,
yeah.
Please tell me NPC won't do this for 15 more minutes.
Nobody tell them, though.
I'm just saying, I warned them multiple times to read this manual, and other people on the channel said, yes, you should definitely read this manual.
Oh yeah, this is a blind playthrough. They are not receiving help, and we're not given help. There are a few cases where we show mercy. This is not one of them. Unless...
Ooh, it's piping hot tomatoes.
The big thing here is that
I don't want to give
if we were to give help, it would be kind of unfair to NPC, because,
right.
Proton just got here, and one of the things that we look for in the players who do really well in these blind races is there's a point where you should go, okay, this isn't working, and go back and look at the manual. I've seen several players do this in the Invitational. So, if we took mercy on this, and Proton John was about to go look on the manual, and then he figures it out because of it, then we get rid of his advantage. So,
agreed. Yeah.
The people in chat might be wondering why we're not showing mercy, but it's important, because if John figures it out faster, then that would be just unfair to him if we told both of them.
Yeah, just imagine you're a kid, you sit down at your grandma's computer and you play this for an hour, you get to the wizard and you can't beat him. It wouldn't be fair for us to tell these players because it would ruin your childhood. Okay, your childhood would have been for nothing because you didn't know about the F5 key. They have to go through the same process that you went through as a child. If anybody played this as a child, I'm so sorry,
Oh. NPC stopped, and he gave us a large series of periods. A very long pause in the chat.
He may be referencing the manual. Oh, by the way, there is a 1-800 number for help about replacement parts.
Oh, I was wondering if it was one of those games where they had the tip line where they give you absolutely, like, the most vague hints and they charge you by the minute. Like, because that was a thing in this era of DOS games as well. Sierra in particular.
Well, that's because Sierra made some really dumb adventure games. They're good games that are completely obtuse and ridiculous.
John is just dying in lava, saying,
John has gotten some real bad random platforms.
I don't think... Yeah, he's had very bad luck. By the way, I'm looking at helpful hints, okay? In the manual, tap down arrow to kneel and then fire to shoot low. Yeah. On a landscape, press up or down arrow to scroll new landscape onto the screen. Because that's something that ever was created in a video game. Ever. On Arctica, let the treadmill shove you to the left. When you're about to fall, walk right to the other edge. This should scroll plenty of new landscape onto the screen. Essentially, it's telling you how to respawn platforms. Remember to save your game after you conquer a planet. Yeah, that one seems like the most helpful thing. This is so dumb.
NPC's figuring it out. He's stopping and he's like testing it. He only fires when he does.
Yes. That is important information to have.
And yet, he's just convinced he needs to kill him.
I mean, to be fair, that just feels right. Oh my gosh.
Only he realized.
If NPC doesn't figure this out and John does, that's going to be a huge comeback. Oh, unfortunately, John has a terrible situation with this rock golem.
John is getting some really bad platforms.
Yeah, these platforms are so variant. Like, we saw some of the times that NPC got here, he got here in like 30 seconds because the platforms were great. But other times it took him a couple minutes. So,
and
John just hasn't been getting
enemy
any
spawns
of those good
are pretty
platforms.
trash too. Like, I'm trying to think. I always try to find something redeemable about games. And this one is really hard. I don't know. NPC died.
There's some really nice looking backgrounds.
The backgrounds are nice. Honestly, the scrolling for DOS, at least, is pretty cool. Okay, DOS in 1990.
I think NPC killed himself with a bomb because his purple meter went down.
The worlds are varied and colorful.
Yes. There's a lot of variety.
There's a planet called Pyrobus. That's a plus. Pyrobus.
John is walking left. I don't know why.
I feel like that's a bad choice considering the map, but...
He hit the edge of the map. You know what? Maybe he was trying to see if it would wrap around.
Well,
I think it's worth trying.
In the storm level, if you went left, you could pick up the bomb early.
Really?
Yes.
So you know what? The manual actually has a game summary, a summary of the comic, and tells you what's going on in here. So your name is Micah Mason, the Intergalactic Allied Nation's first Cybernetic Ranger. The illustrated story details how, as a child, you were critically wounded by an alien race during their attack on the research cruiser Star Treader. This onslaught resulted in your emergency transport back to Ian. IAN. I don't know what that means.
Oh, this is a good
Intergalactic Allied Nation. Yeah. John did it!
John made it to the intermediary screen, so he's going to make it to the wizard here.
Yeah.
Your parents,
however, were never heard from again. Oh no. Your one chance for survival was to undergo radical surgery that replaced your damaged body parts with experimental biomechanical components designed by your scientist father. Despite the successful surgery, your existence is overshadowed by the loss of your parents and the ever-present threat of the return of the alien race, known only as the Regenerates.
It's
Okay, here comes John.
John is on to the wizard, man.
And he's gonna shoot.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. Honestly, they just need to figure it out. NPC talked! That was a sound.
He talked to him!
Just one for the road. And he typed in all caps, I hate you all.
Oh, the huge wall of text.
Oh, yeah.
Lore! Lore!
Lore, everybody. I love it. It's too good.
I was about to say, it's approaching the point where, like, as a player, you just start hitting every button on the keyboard.
I think John's
Right?
realizing if you don't do
Maybe
anything...
Maybe something.
That might have even been what NPC did, because he was standing still for a second, he dropped bombs, he used his other abilities, and then the text appeared, so he might have just been doing the good old one button at a time.
I'm going to say this is still not impossible for John. We have 7 minutes left. NPC is definitely in the lead, but only by finishing this planet. Yet, John has figured out that shooting might not be the answer.
But now he has to try to get through the lava again.
Yeah, he's had a lot of problems with the lava. Which, to be fair, walking through lava is not the most enjoyable experience in this game, considering that movement is incredibly dumb.
We figured it out. He figured out that these big white guys have been giving him the most problems.
Yeah.
If he just walks backwards, and it'll despawn them.
Yep. An NPC immediately gets killed by fire, jumping fire, because
There's a...
Oh my god.
This is Pyrobus. That's the name of the planet, Pyrobus, and you can tell by the fire. I don't see a bus, though.
I don't know about a bus, but they're running a train on them.
Choo-choo. Hey, Proton John is through screen 1 onto screen 2. This one, as far as I can tell, you can't die on.
He's walking the wrong way again.
Oh no! I forgot about this boss!
Oh no, what? Dana, do you want to share with the class?
I didn't even look.
Oh, this boss isn't fun. This boss is very, very not fun. I'm trying to remember the specifics of this boss.
Is it a bus?
Not the bus, the boss.
I hope the boss is a bus.
If I recall correctly, this boss is, first off, a giant fire-breathing snake, because reasons.
Oh, yeah.
And secondly, you cannot kill it. You have to push it off the screen.
What? Okay, John isn't shooting.
John isn't shooting.
He
sees that the boss only attacks when you shoot. Oh my gosh.
He definitely died last time by jumping into the wizard.
Yeah.
And he was walking around and he wasn't, like, attacking for a while.
Well, I imagine the wizard smells really bad after having been on this platform for a good, like, millennia or so, you know? Don't get too close to the wizard, you'll die by stink.
So this snake is actually nicer than the wizard, because if you look, your shots aren't exploding on him, which is, I think, what threw off NPC and John for a while, is you shoot the wizard and it explodes, and then he counterattacks. So it looks like you're doing something with your shots, but these are just doing nothing to the snake.
Do you just talk to the snake?
No, this one, I'm trying to remember how this boss worked. It was not easy to figure out. I remember that part. I believe you had to trick the snake into falling into the pit in front of you.
What?
How do you get it to move?
It's moving,
I mean, it's wiggling.
but every time it wiggles, it moves forward like a pixel.
I just heard a dog bark.
That would take forever. If that's actually how it's moving forward, that's not okay.
No, it's very not okay.
This whole game is not okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is NPC does have missiles now.
He does have missiles.
I don't know if he has any ammo for missiles, but he does have missiles.
Does not look like it.
Now, to be honest,
just talk, John. You have to
because of the length of the time needed to kill the snake boss. I'm pretty sure we're done.
I think that John is not going to make any progress at this point. NPC is in the lead. It's so close, though. This is ridiculous.
I kind of want to see if either of them figure out these bosses.
Oh, yeah, I do want to see.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to wait. You know, someone could still make progress. And technically, John, if he does the right thing, he can make progress.
Yes. He could catch up to where NPC is now, but I do not think he could pass him simply because the snake will take so long to kill.
The thing, though, is that you have to realize the game is changing the rules. And you have to do some
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, the snake moves.
Oh, it is
really slowly.
It's moving like.
Oh, this is bad.
I can't tell if it's going back or not.
It needs to come forwards into the pit, if I recall correctly.
I mean, it is going forward.
It's going back.
It is.
If you look at the bottom of it of its like tail, the little scales above its tail, it moves forward a pixel and then it'll go back.
Wait, did the
it's
platform
not actually
just
advancing?
Disappear?
I think he needs to be shooting it in the head to prompt it to come forward. Ah!
I don't know. I feel so bad for them. Dana, why do you make me feel these emotions?
You were feeling so much joy earlier.
Oh my god.
I don't feel bad.
To be honest, I still feel joy. I'm lying, guys. This is great.
It's a beautiful, wonderful game that everybody should experience. And so many people have now.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, NPC is one boss ahead of Proton John. John is just going to try to kill the wizard. He just needs to talk, okay? It's a friendly wizard.
Yeah, he just wants to chat.
And as a
you walk into his house and you start shooting him in the face. What do you think he's going to do?
The manual doesn't even say anything about this dude, though.
But it says you can talk to characters.
Yeah.
As a quick reminder, that like we just did 2 losers matches, this is a winner's match. So the loser here does not get eliminated. You're still going to see more of John. But we want to see him talk to the wizard. Like, come on.
I'm not sure I want to hear him talk to us.
There
10
is
seconds left.
There is in the directory. There is a hint.bat that you could actually load up, and it would give you hints about talking to the wizard.
And as a matter of fact, we are done.
And there's no way I was going to actually give them that.
Well, as it turns out, NPC managed to make it all the way to the snake. Took about 10 to 15 minutes to figure out how to talk to the wizard and move past this boss. Proton John, unfortunately, got stuck on the wizard and lost this match. But never fear, Proton John can definitely still move on to the finals. He just needs to win all the rest of the matches. Hello, John. Hello, NPC.
What the hell was that?
Well, yeah, this is not a good game. I could barely call it a game. It's bad.
That seemed like some heavy RNG.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, I mean, when platforms that you rely on are absolutely random, it's beautiful.
Completely
but not in a good way.
I already tried that, Kate. I hit F5 numerous times in that room, and it never seemed to work.
Why do you to talk to him? The talking has a range.
I know I walked up to the pillar and hit F5. That was when I died, so I never tried it again.
I did the same thing, John. I did the exact same thing.
Crying out
You
loud.
jumped that time.
I love
All right, so I'm assuming based on that NPC won.
NPC did, yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question about the boss that I was going up against?
Yeah, it's right after your boss, Proton John. He didn't win by a lot. It was actually pretty close, and if you
NPC was walled on the wizard for a good 15 minutes.
That's what makes me angry. That was one of the first things I tried was F5 and it didn't work. I had to be stupid close. That's so annoying.
Yeah,
Because if you walk in, you're walking in,
I don't want you to shout across the room at him. Just come on.
I did the exact same freaking thing, and I was like, F5 should work. He is not a danger unless you shoot. So obviously F5 has to work. But it wasn't.
Yeah, same thing. I was like, F5, step, F5, 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 get right close, then just died. I'm like, oh, guess I'm wrong. Okay.
Both the times that if I know when you guys were trying to talk to the boss, both of you guys jumped into the boss on accident and then died because you touched him.
Yep. He smells really bad.
I was assuming you were gonna we were supposed to plant a bomb on the pillar, but yeah, that wasn't working. So
yeah, the boss. I'm glad that all of you kept trying something different. NPC spent like 4 or 5 minutes just shooting the entire time and made no progress, and that was fun to watch.
6 minutes. I was keeping track myself.
Oh, 6 minutes. Okay.
The other thing we noticed is Proton John in the ice level, you could hit escape there, and it would reload the level for you. You didn't have to reload.
Oh, well, damn. All right, well, that would have been a little faster.
Yeah, it's all right, though. Like, the fact that you both figured out the respawning thing, I think was the main thing that helped through that ice level. Oh, so is this even a game? Is this allowed?
I mean, technically it has aspects of a game, but just aspects.
I mean, it has all the things that you would expect from a video game. You have a character, you have weaponry, and you have enemies, and you have a progression. And
did the weaponry actually work?
No.
I mean, it did kill things occasionally, sort of.
Salt, the ultimate weapon.
Salt.
By the way,
oh, so I found out something interesting just then. You know how you talk to him a couple times and then the text box goes away?
Yeah.
You can still die to him, man.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
John.
So,
a good game.
NPC, the snake you were fighting, it took a long time to figure out how to beat that snake.
Don't tell me. I'm going to figure it out by myself.
We were going to spoil
have fun.
No, I intend to have fun in a very quotation-heavy fun, but yeah.
It's this is just a game that I don't think should have existed, and honestly, just looking at it, like, obviously the comic was so much better than the game itself. Like, the comic looks great in the manual, but the game, I'm not sure how they even existed. Well, this company only made 2 games, so they didn't exist for very long.
Dare I ask what the other game was?
It was a sort of a Scum-ish point-and-click adventure. I'm not completely sure. I want to look at it a little bit more, but yeah, that's their only other game. And I would go ahead and hazard a guess that it's a little bit better than this one. So here's the deal, John. You did lose this match, but you are still in it. You're going to the loser's bracket. You're going to be duking it out there. NPC, you're either going to face Faizu or who was the other one? Andy. So I have no idea how that's going to turn out, but enjoy your battle against Andy later on. Sorry, Faizu, but we're just being realistic. No, honestly, if Faizu wins that battle, that'll be just a blast. Well, I think that we're getting towards the end of the day. Anything you want to say, John, NPC, before we move on and finish the stream?
Why?
My gosh. I've never seen a game that made me feel this way.
I've never seen a game where you had to reload the stage to actually make it to the dang boss. How long did it take NPC to get through that? Because it seemed like he got through that real fast.
He figured out the respawn strats quite a bit.
He found out about the
faster than
escape key.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I kept holding the button, but it's like escape over and over and over again, and then I just died at the boss really quickly, and I'm like, well, flip.
This is just not a game that is intuitive in the least. I don't know.
It's not good, which is why you should all go play it.
I really want to now.
It is a
Don't
master
do it.
key.
It just feels wrong. And also, if you want to go play it more, go ahead and use Joy to Key, because Dana is evil.
Oh, I thought it was because of just all the crazy buttons we weren't supposed to use Joy to Key.
That's pretty much it.
I didn't have any
issue
whatsoever with it. The
well, Dana's like, everything is nuts, and he just wanted you to have the full experience between tilde and the minus key next to the numpad.
Did any of us get the tilde weapon? I sure didn't.
Nope.
I thought, we didn't. I thought I did, but I guess that was
I think the wizard gives you the
Oh, so NPC did get it.
I was trying to use it against the snake, but apparently my tilde key doesn't work.
I don't think it would work on the snake. Probably not. I don't think
let me just ask you this. Do I have to float over to the snake?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, well then I'll figure it out myself and then cry after 30 minutes of not getting anywhere.
All right, guys. Let's start wrapping up here. So, do we have any final thoughts from NPC Proton John?
Never again.
We can suggest a whole bunch of better games than this.
That's what makes me sad.
Almost all of them.
All games. Yeah, I'd like to thank you both for coming and playing today. You know, I'm excited to see your next matches. Just so everybody who's watching knows, we also do have regular the tournament matches for the 170-person tournament over at my channel. I'm Brosentia. The Invitational will be happening again. Is it in 2 weeks, Railcoon?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, so be sure to stop on by again, especially if you love bad games, because I certainly.
I'm a big fan.
I see that snake you got to. Okay.
Yep.
It's good snake.
Pretty scary.
Pretty good Jafar snake.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I would just like to thank everybody who was on today. That includes Mikin, Maikuyama, Nadenbao, Smite, NPC Lives, Proton John, our game masters, Brosentia, Tristan, Dana, and people who came on to help commentate, Faizu and Corndan. Thanks for tuning in for another Kusogrande Invitational. It was a lot of fun. Like Brosentia just said, we'll be back in another 2 weeks. But if you want to catch the main tournament, you can go to his channel. Tune in this Sunday at 3 p.m. for another episode of Tree Fort. And there are dates for all the upcoming dates for Summer Games Done Quick are over on gamesdonequick.com. We're going to send you over to another speedrun stream. They're doing some any percent speedrun PB attempts. So go cheer them on, give them some good feelings, and help them try to get that PB. We'll catch you all of you guys next time on Sunday.
Thank you. Bye.
Later.